I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're starting to go into like third dates and fourth dates and she's not putting out, you're not even getting a make out, then you've done something wrong in your attraction phase. She's not attracted to you. You haven't built enough comfort, so you can't get into the seduction phase. You know, the girl, you feel the fear, you do it anyway. You open the set. Yeah, she says she has a boyfriend. Well, at least you went in. You weren't over here just doing nothing, standing around like a little fucking bitch, like a fucking pussy. You went in, balls out, like a fucking man. She wasn't interested, but you built up your courage, and you do it again. Pretty soon, you start getting into the pattern. You are obeying the 3-second rule. Your opener is on point. Your words are smooth. Your body language is good. Your hands aren't in your pockets. You're not making fidgety hand movements. You're like just straight up alpha, like, hey, real quick, soup. Hey, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Okay, fine, next set. Hey, real quick, soup, boom, 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 boom. You get good at it, you start hooking sets. Hooking sets is going to get you phone numbers. The more phone numbers you get, the more dates you're going to get. The more dates you get, the more sex you can get. The more sex you can get, the more girls you can have in your rotation and harem, or you can make her your girlfriend. Okay, so the whole point, we want to be on this cycle right here. Boom, boom, boom. Just keep opening sets, keep getting phone numbers, keep throwing them in the funnel, weed out the weak, get rid of the fucking flakes, get rid of the girls that have the wrong numbers, find the ones that are the most DTF, get laid, and if you like the way she sucks your dick, you like the way she fucking rides your cock in bed, put her in the rotation. Make her one of your regulars. You have to pass on your genes before you die. And that requires mating with a female. And that's what the purpose really of all of this is. This is picking up women is it's not just a game. This is a matter of life and death. This is the real shit right here. Okay, like I'm not just teaching you how to pick up chicks. I'm teaching you how to fucking win the game of life. Hey guys, what's up? This is Jaunzemis. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a full tactical breakdown of my real game system, the system that I use to meet, attract, and date beautiful women. I've taught this to thousands of guys all over the world. I've used it myself to have sex with over 200 different women, and stick around because I'm going to teach it all to you right now. So, let's get into it. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Jaunzemis. I'm a dating coach out in Las Vegas, and I help guys all over the world who are struggling in their dating life and help to start getting them real results with women. So if you're a guy who wants to start getting laid, and not just laid, but laid by hot chicks, if you want to find a wife, a girlfriend, the perfect partner, or if you just want to gain more confidence, then I got something real special for you. I've been doing dating coaching professionally in Las Vegas here for the last 15 years, and I've developed a fully optimized system for meeting, attracting, and dating beautiful women. I've helped thousands of guys all over the world, and I have the fastest and easiest to understand method for picking up women. Now, the guys that I teach are absolutely killing it in game. We're talking having sex with 50, 100, or even 150 new girls each year. Break it down, guys. There's 52 weeks in a year. I can teach you how to be having sex with 1 to 3 new girls a week. So do the math. 2 girls a week, that's 104 new girls a year. 3 girls a week, that's 156 new girls a year. You might be thinking like, no way you could get those types of results. I'm telling you, if you follow the system, it's fucking so easy. It's like brainlessly simple. I'm gonna break it all down. I call it the real game system because it's not, fake bullshit game. It's fucking real game. This is the real shit. Anybody can do this for the most part. I'll put a couple caveats. We're gonna get into it deep, and stick around. Grab a drink, grab a beer. We're gonna get real deep into this stuff. I want you to stick around. It's gonna be kind of a long video. I'm not gonna go super deep, like super in depth into it. That's what I save for personal coaching. When you guys jump on a coaching call with me, you can get live coaching with me. I help guys, like I said, all over the world. Doesn't matter if you're in America, London, Stockholm, Australia. Doesn't matter. you can get on a coaching call with me, and then we can get down to your specific situation. This video right here is going to be very general. Like I said, I generally have 3 or 4 specific different types of clients all the time. One type of guy, he just wants to get laid, right? Like maybe he's a college dude. He doesn't care about a relationship or getting married or anything like that. He just wants to he just wants to get laid, right? By hot chicks. No problem. I can teach you that very easily. I can teach you how to get a girl's phone number in just 15 seconds. I can teach you how to get her right back to your house. I can teach you how to fuck her in the toilet in a nightclub within 5 minutes of meeting her, 5 to 7, maybe 10 minutes of meeting her. I do it all the time. My students do it. It's very easy. It's a process. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that here in this video. And if you're a guy who's like, oh, I don't want to just get laid. Like, I want to get married. I want to have a family. Fine, we'll teach you that too. We'll teach you how to get a girlfriend. We'll teach you how to get her to become your wife. That's fine. Some people want to have families. Some people want monogamy. Some people want a harem. You want to learn how to build a harem. You want a rotation. I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. Some guys are already married, but they just like this type of information and they just want to get more confidence in social situations. We'll teach you that too. And like I said, maybe you have a specific situation. Maybe you're like, oh, I have a girl on a date, but I don't know what to say to her. What should I do for a first date? Or what's the best pickup line? How do I approach women? You know, what's a good idea for a second date? You know, I don't understand foreplay. You know, you might have some kind of situation that you're dealing with, and that's where you get private coaching with me, and we can talk about your situation all day. You can jump on a coaching call. I offer $99 for an hour on Zoom. Right now it's on sale, $50 for an hour. Or you can get live coaching with me. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram, and I'll give you the PayPal link, and we can get into that stuff. But like I said, I'm helping guys just like you do this stuff. I got a new video testimonial from a client of mine who recently got laid, and he did a training session with me. He did live coaching, and he went out basically the following week, met a chick, and he got laid, and now they're boyfriend and girlfriend. But let's roll that testimonial right now.
I'm Aaron. I was able to do my one-on-one coaching with Ryan, which, man, just opened up a whole new world for me. If anything, it just increased my confidence, and I'm just more relaxed. And I know it's, you know, it may not be a whole lot, but it just makes a world of difference with women. It shocks the hell out of me, actually, that I'd have never guessed that I would have been able to do this shit. For hard proof, last weekend, she was a total cougar. I met her on Friday night. Saturday night, we went out, and I brought her home and had sex with her. I would have never been able to do that without this shit. And it's just amazing. I mean, it's opened up a whole new world for me. It's opened up my eyes to just all kinds of shit. I feel better about myself.
And I want to read this to you real quick. I had recently just been divorced, moved out, and had started to begin a life of my own. I had a few aspects of myself that I wanted to improve, and talking to women, especially beautiful women, was one of them. Lucky for me, I had found Ryan. I followed his group on the web for a while before actually taking the first step to go meet Ryan in person. But I'm so glad that I took that first step. If you ask a guy where approaching an attractive woman stands in his list of fears, he would definitely tell you that it is probably within the top 5. But after learning that there was an exact science to attracting women, I personally set out to overcome this fear. I have gone through 2 separate one-on-one in-field coaching sessions with Ryan, and it has been life-changing. When I was talking to Ryan prior to my first session, he told me that my balls were about to grow, and after learning the material he had prepared for me, that's exactly what happened. Since training with Ryan, I have had interactions with a handful of women. I have gotten phone numbers, dates, random makeout sessions, and I even slept with a hottie the night after I met her. And now, I have a girlfriend who I met at a party that I never would have made myself go to if I didn't have the courage that Ryan has given me. But even greater than that are the effects this has had on my personality, which has spilled over into every other aspect of my life, from work, to friends, to family, and with any other interaction with anyone I meet. It's not just about getting laid. It's about self-improvement and personal empowerment. On top of that, I have realized that I am not and never was alone. Every guy Ryan has taught has gone through some experiences that I have been through. We have all been that dweeb, that dork, that nerd in high school that got picked on. We have all been the guy with big rimmed glasses who drops his books and papers in the middle of the hall while getting stepped on and kicked. But now, all of that has changed. Now I can walk up to a beautiful woman and start a conversation, get her phone number, set up a date, I can build attraction, and I can get her in bed. Me, I can do this. And anyone else can too. Thanks, Ryan. Let me show you guys another one real quick. Dude, your book 10 Steps to Success really helped me out, bro. I now have the confidence in myself and feel comfortable in my own body. I put my skills you taught me to the test. The result? I got a girl. I thank you so much, bro. Now let me show you one more quick little video from a student named Joe, just so you can see how easy this copy and paste method that I created is. He basically walks up to girls in this video, he does the same little opening line, gets the phone number. Does it again on another girl, uses the exact same line, gets a phone number. Sets up dates with those phone numbers, gets them back to his house for sex. It's as easy as that. Just watch. All right, so if you guys want to start getting results like that, if you guys want to start becoming approach machines, I can teach you all of this stuff. Make sure that you get a coaching call with me, get live coaching with me. I'm on Instagram, it's at Jaunzemis, or you can hit me up on my cell phone, text me 702-417-7714, and we can get a coaching session set up, and you'll be able to learn all this stuff and start getting real results with women. All right, guys, well, let's get into the real game system. So I got a beer right here. Oh, yes. Oh, it's so icy cold. So good. And it's freezing outside, by the way. It is January 2nd, 2022, and it is 27 degrees outside, which I believe is about -3. I think it was -2.8 Celsius. So, it's fucking cold. And even with the heater on and a hoodie on, it's still cold in the house right now. But we're going to have a couple of drinks. Going to loosen up, really get into this, because we're going to get into some very some deep stuff right here. You can see this colorful chart that looks like some kind of board game. And it really is like a board game. So there is a process to meeting, dating, and attracting women from the time that you approach her all the way until you have sex with her. But my method goes far beyond that, because there's a lot that happens before you even meet the girl, and there's a lot that happens after you have sex with the girl. For example, before you meet the girl, you have to, what I call a phase called lifestyle. You can see it right here. You can see kind of this middle piece right here is basically the overall board game, if you will, the game of not just meeting, dating women, but also life. And before you meet the woman, you'll be setting up your life and becoming the type of man who naturally attracts beautiful women. And even before that is what I like to call target market assessment, or TMA. And that's actually figuring out the type of woman that you want. A lot of guys, you ask them, what do you want in a woman? They'll just say, I don't know, hot, big tits. But they've never actually sat down and figured out exactly what they want in a woman. So my method actually starts way back there, figuring out exactly what you want in the woman, then setting up your life to become the type of man who could attract that woman, then going out and actually meeting her, approaching her, attracting her, getting dates, getting phone numbers and all that. Building comfort with her, then the seduction stage, the sex part, then the relation and rotation management, Because you don't have to just have one girl. You can have as many as you want. With this method, you could be dating a dozen different girls at a time or more. You can basically build your own harem, or you can go monogamous and have a relationship with just one special girl and eventually go to the conception reproduction stage where you're having a baby, and even to the point where once that baby is born and you're completing the purpose of life to ultimately survive and eventually reproduce and get your genes into the next generation before you die, so that your offspring can live on and eventually grow up and build value to attract a mate. For example, it might be your son. Eventually he's going to want to have women in his life, so you're going to basically teach him what I'm teaching you here, so that he can attract a mate and eventually reproduce, and that will be your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, and that's just the whole cycle of life. You got to get your genes into the next generation before you die. Otherwise, in terms of evolution, your history, right? So this isn't just about picking up women. This is about life. This is about winning the game of life. It's much bigger than that. And so you can kind of see right here on the main method, this is kind of like the overall game of life and pickup, if you will. And then over here is the actual attraction part of actually finding out where you're going to meet girls, whether that's online, whether that's day game or night game, going out meeting women at a mall or at the beach, going out to meet women at nightclubs, and how to get their phone numbers and how to set up dates and how to get sex and how to turn them into your girlfriend, right? So it's kind of, that's this little section right here that's all broken down here. And like I said, if you overall everything, survive and reproduce is really what you're doing. You're not just surviving, but thriving and attracting high value partners, high value mates, and reproducing. That's why I always say, become the best and then attract the best. So it's not just about going out and doing 1,000 approaches, taking massive action. That's not what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do again is build a life, build yourself up, build a lifestyle that's worthy of attracting beautiful women, become the best man that you can be, become the best version of yourself, and that's going to ultimately help you to attract a higher quality partner. So a lot of people are always like, well, Ryan, what's your best pickup line? And I say, well, this isn't a pickup line. This is a lifestyle. This is about building a life and becoming a high value man so that you can attract high value women. It's not about just going out and using pickup lines and fucking drunk sluts at a club. Not to say that you couldn't do that. That's definitely a way to start and get yourself into the game. But eventually, it's not just about doing bullshit techniques or pickup lines or, you know, lying to the girl, telling her you're a millionaire just so you can like get in her pants. Eventually, you want to actually become that high value man so that you don't actually even have to go out and attract women. The women will eventually come to you. My pickup line is being high status. My pickup line is being famous and having a lot of followers on Instagram so that girls find me and DM me and say, hey, I saw your profile. Hey, I saw your video on YouTube. I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend. Do you want to hang out? So I don't go to the club and pick up girls. I have girls picking me up. So I flipped the whole game around. And anyway, I want to teach you guys how to do that too. Ooh, that was a mouthful, so I had to take a big ass swig. And now over here, this is kind of a breakdown of this part again in attraction. And like I said, we're going to go through all of this in depth. Each one of these modules, we can literally go for like 10 hours on each of these, and I don't want to go too crazy with that. Like I said, if you get live coaching with me, we can sit down for your specific situation and we can break down exactly what your sticking points are. Maybe you're having a problem getting phone numbers, so that we know your problem is not here, right? It has to be before. You always just basically look at what you're at. An interesting hack is if you're ever having a sticking point in the game, like for example, you're like, man, I can get phone numbers, but when I try to go for a date, you know, the girl flakes on me. So it's basically, your problem isn't in building comfort. Your problem isn't in the seduction phase. It's in your attraction phase. It's because you suck at texting. It's because you don't have interesting things to say. It's because the girl started talking to you, and maybe she was interested, and her interest just dropped because when she went to your social media and saw that you only have 35 followers and no pictures, she's like, this guy's a loser. So she just blocks you, which means you have problems in your lifestyle. You have to do more lifestyle management. You need to step up your game. Maybe you met a girl online on Tinder and you had a good picture, and then she got on a date with you and she saw that you were fucking actually fat, and then she ghosted you because she's like, I could do better. I've got this guy over here who's a 6'4" Swedish soccer player, and why do I want your fucking 300-pound ass with no job? So that kind of lets you know, oh, you need to go back a step and handle your lifestyle. Go to the gym, lose that weight, get in shape, become more attractive, and then go back out into the attraction phase and try it again. Now, for example, if you're good at, like, maybe you get first dates with a girl, but then you don't ever get them back to the house for the sex, it probably is, that's kind of showing you that, okay, you were able to attract her, your texting game was good, you got her to meet up with you, but she's not fucking you. So at some point your comfort game is fucked up because she's not comfortable, you're jumping the gun too fast from attraction to seduction. Goes to your house, for example, and your house looks like shit. Maybe on the date you were dressed up and she was attracted, she was wanting to be with you, she was wanting to maybe go home with you and have sex with you, but then she got to your house and she walked in your house and it was fucking looked like shit. You know, your dishes everywhere, maybe you have a cat and it has cat shit all in the box, in the litter box, or she went in your bathroom and she saw like shit in your toilet, or she opened your fridge and you didn't have any food in the fridge, all you had was like, you know, some baking soda and a light bulb, and she's like, wow, like, online this guy talks a big game, but in real life she sees your house and she sees you're broke as fuck. So she immediately turns off and she leaves, which lets you know, again, you got to fix these other areas over here. It's not forward, it's always back. So that's why you find out where you're at in the game, figure out where you're getting stuck, and then you should be able to backtrack a little bit and figure out, oh, okay, like my game must be weak in such and such point. Anyway, and that's how you can auto-correct yourself. And then, of course, and then over here, what I call this is kind of your lead generation right here. When it comes to getting phone numbers and things like that, a lot of guys, for example, they get a lot of phone numbers, but they might get flaked on. It might be the next day you call them back and it's a wrong number. And you got to understand, it's going out. Playing the dating game is very much a numbers game, and it's very much like sales. It's like door-to-door sales. And the salesman, in order to sell a product, let's say he's a car salesman, he needs to get as many leads as he can. So in dating, it's, if I want to get laid by hot chicks, I need to get as many leads as I can, as many phone numbers. But eventually, it's like a sales funnel. First of all, I'm going to get 50 numbers, but maybe 25 of those numbers are wrong numbers, or they're flakes, or the girl just decides she's not interested, or she meets a boyfriend by the time I call her back. So the funnel gets smaller. Initially, I might have had like 50 numbers, but by the end of the week, those 50 girls turn into only like 1 or 2 or 3 girls that I actually have sex with. So the sales funnel gets smaller. And again, this whole method overall is kind of like a sales funnel. When it comes down to it, at its core, what I'm teaching you to do is go out and get as many leads as you can, okay? So let's say you go out to the mall for like 4 hours on a Saturday from like 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. and you talk to 50 different girls in the mall, or groups of girls, because usually you'll find beautiful women aren't necessarily found by themselves. They're usually in groups. They're usually with their best friend, or their 2 best friends, or maybe their friend and their brother, or even a gay guy friend, or anything like that. But women are usually in groups. And in my method, you don't need to pick off the target or wait for her friends to go to the bathroom and where she's standing there and then try to go in real quick. I'm going to teach you, if there's 3 girls, you're going to approach all 3 girls, and I'm going to show you exactly what to say to them in order to get the girl that you like to get her phone number. We'll call her the target. Anyone else in the group is going to be called an obstacle. And we're going to get all into group dynamics and theory in a little bit. But what it really comes down to, like I said, it is like a giant sales funnel. And let's say you go to the mall and you talk to 50 different girls. 25 of those girls, they're just going to flake on you anyway. They'll look at you and, I have a boyfriend, and they'll just leave. So maybe out of 50 girls, you might only talk to 25 girls. So right away, the funnel's already getting smaller. Out of those 25 girls, maybe you get 10 phone numbers. The other 15 girls, you talked to them for 3 or 4 minutes and it just didn't go anywhere because you didn't know the method and you didn't know what to do. Like I said, I have a copy and paste method. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. You're going to say basically the same thing every time. And depending on how the girl answers, I'm going to give you the next response and the next response. And all you have to do is basically copy and paste. All you have to do is listen to what I'm telling you and then just regurgitate it back to the girl. She's going to basically say things like, she's going to have objections. I have a boyfriend. I don't go on dates with guys I just met. I don't feel comfortable. She's going to have all, just like in sales. You know, you're talking to a prospect. Hey, I've got this car. You want to buy this car? Yeah, I don't know if I can afford it. Well, do you have a credit card? Yeah, I do. Okay, yeah, well, you can take that credit card. It's all about basically handling those objections quickly and efficiently. And so really all it's going to be doing is you're going to be doing the same approach. You're going to be handling objections, and then you're going to be kind of jumping over those hurdles, I like to call it, and eventually, like a football player, taking that ball and running it to the goal line. And so back to that little funnel, like I said, you talk to 50 girls, 25 of them just blew you off, 10 of them gave you a number, whatever, right? And the funnel, it will pop in and kind of close off, right, at certain points. And that lets you know where your sticking point is in the game. And basically your job in becoming a better pickup artist is to break through, like break through that glass ceiling if it was going up. But it's kind of like opening up that bottleneck in the funnel so that the funnel doesn't close off like that. And so, for example, now you have 5 girls. Now, as long as your texting game is good, you should be able to get them onto a date. If you can get them onto a date, then try to get them back to your house, right? And the funnel is just going to keep opening or closing. Now, let's say your game was perfect. Your game is like 10 out of 10. It wouldn't even be a funnel. It would just be straight. Like you would talk to 50 girls and you'd be able to close 50 girls, but nobody can do that. Like, it doesn't work like that. Even if you're the most richest, tallest, best looking guy, there's still going to be girls that are just not into you, that you approach, that are just going to blow you off just because. So it doesn't work like that. It's always going to be that type of funnel shape. But the more you progress in the game, the better that you get. It's more like you're never going to get it like this, like I said, but instead of so much like this, where, hey, you got a shit ton of leads and you're only getting like 1 lay at the end of the week, as your game gets better, the funnel will widen a little bit. So maybe your first week of trying to do this and you talk to 50 different girls, you might not get any. But the second week, you might get 1. And after 6 months of doing this, you might start getting 2 or 3 or 4 girls a week. And that's why I say when you get really good at this, when you can, for example, have sex with 2 new girls a week, that equals 104 new girls a year. If you're having sex with 3 girls in a week, 52 weeks in a year is 156 girls. So literally, if you start doing this method and you like make this become your life, you go balls deep into this and practice what I'm teaching you, watch all of my videos, read my books, learn this method, in 2 years from now, you could have sex with over 300 new girls. It's time for another beer. Oh, yes. There are these Budweiser Christmas beers. They've got little designs on them. Oh, that's good. All right. So, let's get back into this. Let's start at the beginning here of my method called Target Market Assessment. I have a full book on it right here. It's actually available on Amazon, and it's a great workbook. If you're not actually at one of my seminars, you can actually do this at home. And in this book, for example, it will teach you basically how to identify your exact target. It's a full workbook inside. And for example, identifying your target's physical characteristics: hair color, hair length, eye color. Does she wear glasses? Ethnicity, skin tone, height, weight, body type, thin, slender, athletic, curvy, BBW, etc. You basically figure out exactly what you're going for, and then I show you how to make vision boards so you can basically identify the type of target that you want. And you can see it's all geared exactly toward the method that I'm teaching you right here. Really awesome tips in this book, like weather scanning. Let me. A lot of guys, they want to go out maybe to the strip mall or the outdoor mall, and they get all dressed up and they go to the mall and they forget to check the weather, and as soon as they go outside they find out that it's raining. Or they want to go meet girls at the library, and I made the mistake one time. I got all dressed up. I was going to go do some college game at the library, and when I showed up I forgot that it was Martin Luther King Day and the library was closed because it was a holiday. And because I didn't do my weather check, because I didn't do my holiday check, and if I had just knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have made those mistakes. But this will also basically show you where to go to pick up the types of girls that you want, and basically do some character profiling and archetypes, and basically kind of figure out exactly the types of girls that you want. So anyway, let's kind of go into this briefly. Like I said, this is there. I do a whole seminar. I'll put the thumbnail up for my target market assessment. I've done it quite a few times where guys, they pay money and they can actually do the live TMA workshop with me. So we got target market assessment, target selection, dating goals, logistics, reconnaissance, etc. So for example, at this point of the game, what you're basically doing is you're figuring out, who is my target? What type of girl do I want to date? What does she look like? What kind of clique does she run in? What's her life like? And once you kind of break that down, it's going to set you up for the next phase for lifestyle mastery, where you start basically building your life so you can kind of, what I like to refer to as like meeting her halfway. Because let's say, for example, I had a client one time, and he was like a 50-year-old, 55-year-old lawyer. And after he did my TMA program, he was like, I want to date hot raver chicks, like 19-year-old hot raver chicks with big tits who like to dance to, like go-go dances to DJ music and stuff. And so he's basically assessed his target market. He wants to meet hot raver chicks. The places that he wants to meet them, obviously they're going to be at raves. Well, there's a lot of raves in Las Vegas. We got EDC. We got a whole scene for that. So he now knows his target. He knows where his target hangs out. He knows the clique. He knows what her lifestyle is like. But then I asked him, well, are you a raver? He says, no. He's like, he's a lawyer. I said, do you know anything about raves? Do you know who Tiesto is? Do you know who like Calvin Harris is? What are you going to talk about with this raver chick? And he's like, I don't know. Right. So in his lifestyle management, when he did coaching with me, one of the things that I was suggesting is that, like, if you want to meet these raver chicks, you've got to meet them halfway. You've got to basically learn their culture. I would suggest like downloading a bunch of rave music. Like you should probably, maybe go to a Tiesto concert. Like you should get into the scene so that when you're actually talking to the chick, you're going to have something to communicate about. She doesn't give a fuck about your bar exam or habeas corpus or like your latest court case. She's not going to give two shit. She's a raver chick. She wants to dance. She's going to want to talk about music. She's going to want to talk. She's going to hopefully that you can hook her up with ecstasy. Like, what can you do to value her life? You being a lawyer, yeah, you have a bunch of money. Maybe you can pay for her to get into the rave, but beyond that, beyond your money, what else do you have to offer her? And so I was suggesting to him, like, you need to kind of tweak your life somehow to be able to match up with the type of, your target, to match up with the type of girl that you want. So I'm sitting there trying to explain to him that you have to have some type of value in order to make this girl become attracted to you, other than the fact that you're a lawyer. Like, because she can meet lots of lawyers. What makes you stand out? When you get here, I call it like TCCC: trust, comfort, connection, and commonality. And you're not going to have any of that there if you're just this like old lawyer guy who wants to pick up young hot chicks, and you don't have anything to converse about with her, she's going to basically use you as a beta male provider at that point. She's going to go cheat on you with tall, handsome Chad, unless you have something to offer her, like in terms of emotional support, like where she can talk to you about things that she can relate to. So anyway, it's very important to really sit down and figure out the types of girls that you want, because that's basically going to set the frame for the rest of the interaction and what you're trying, the lifestyle that you're trying to set up and everything that you're trying to accomplish. You know, you want to have your life be kind of a compliment to her, just like she's going to be a compliment to your life. The girl that you get shouldn't be like the biggest trophy. She shouldn't be the centerpiece of your life. She should be a compliment to your life, just like you should be a compliment to her life. But anyway, let's go into, let's assume, like I said, we're not going to go too in depth. We could go on this for like 4 or 6 hours talking about your target and exactly the types of girls that you want. But if you want to really get into that and assess that, get coaching with me and we can handle that. So let's assume that you know the types of girls that you want. The next phase is what I like to call lifestyle mastery. So we've got SMV maxing, sexual marketplace value maxing. Basically, that's things like looks maxing, going to the gym, fitness, fashion, finances, auto, housing, etc. So that means basically building a life that's worthy of attracting beautiful women. That means becoming the best version of yourself. For me, that would be like going from Ryan 1.0 to Ryan 2.0. That would be like going from Ryan down here to like Ryan up here. That's going to be things like going to the gym and basically building that into a routine in your life. Maybe right now you're like 300 or 400 fucking pounds and you're fat as fuck. Well, you're assessing your target market. You want to date young, hot chicks, but you're fat as fuck and, you know, girls don't like you. Right? You're fat, you got a bad haircut, you don't know how to dress, you don't understand fashion, you live at your mom's house, you ride the bus to work, you don't have a job, you just have no direction in your life, you have a dream to, you know, be this, you know, entrepreneur, but right now you're basically just like working at Taco Bell. Well, lifestyle management is where it's at. This is about stepping up your game right here. This is about like starting to get into hobbies and your passions. This is about, hey, I'm going to learn how to play a musical instrument. I'm going to pick up the guitar and I'm going to start learning how to play. I'm going to get lessons. I'm going to, even if it's on YouTube, and becoming a musician. This is about saying, hey, it's time to go to college. It's time to take some classes in business. It's time to begin writing my new book. It's time to basically go out and furnish my house with nice, you know, Italian leather sofas and mirror top tables. And, you know, you can see behind me, you see, you know, disco balls and streamers. You see a modeling studio. You see, you know, high quality camera equipment, computers. You see, you know, exercise equipment. This is about things like setting up your house so that when over here in seduction, when you bring a girl back to your house, you're not bringing her back to, you know, a house with nothing but like a lawn chair and, you know, she opens your fridge, like I said, and there's nothing in there but baking soda and a fucking light bulb. Okay, like she wants to come back to a guy's house who has nice leather couches, big screen TVs, laptops, you know, like I got a brand new Benz in my garage. I didn't have that before I worked on this part of my game. I went and I had to work overtime. I had to do extra shifts at work to get a down payment to get that new Benz, right? So maybe you want to get a new BMW. Maybe you want to get you know, that Ferrari, that Lamborghini, and step up your game. That's all right here. Lifestyle mastery. Lifestyle mastery is things like self-care, right? Going to the spa, getting your nails done, manicures, pedicures. It's going to the barber, right? Not your friend who cuts hair in his garage, but like going to a professional barber and, you know, getting faded up, you know, getting a really good haircut. This lifestyle mastery is about going to the mall and buying quality clothing, like top of the line, name brand, designer jeans, you know, button up t-shirts, fashion. However, you got to dress for success. You got to dress to match kind of the type of girl that you want. Like I was telling the dude who's the lawyer, right? He can't be dressed in no suit and tie. Like the raver chick is just not going to vibe with that. It's too outside her world. She doesn't want to deal with this corporate motherfucker. When if you could imagine a hot raver chick, she's probably gonna be dating like a good-looking, sexy-looking like DJ who is in the rave scene. He's not gonna be wearing a fucking suit and a tie, which is again what I was telling the lawyer dude. I was like, that's fine. You could wear a suit and a tie when you're going to court to do your lawyer cases, but that's your job. But if you're trying to attract hot raver chicks, you're gonna start needing to dress like more cool. Like you got to be dressing like you're going to a club, or you got to at least understand some of the rave fashion and things like that, some of the lifestyle, so that you guys can kind of meet, like I said, meet halfway. Because otherwise, if you dress too far outside of your target's reality, if you dress like a gangster, like you dress with like super baggy jeans and like a hoodie, right? Got your hood on, you know, chain wallet, and if you're the type of girl that you want to date is like a cowgirl, she wears like a cowgirl hat, she's going to look at you, she's not going to feel that she can relate to you because you don't understand her reality. What you want to do is kind of, you don't have to exactly mirror her, but you should demonstrate some qualities that she could at least relate to. But of course, when you're starting in this, it's probably a good idea to go a little more general. I would suggest some nice, you know, designer jeans and like a button-up shirt. Make sure that you unbutton at least the top button, if not the top two buttons. You know, maybe some nice shades, a nice watch, a good haircut, some dress shoes like black or brown. But like I said, I do like whole classes on this stuff where I teach guys all this stuff about fashion, where basically like we get together and I basically can design a look for you. If you don't know anything about fashion, I'll show you exactly like the good types of jeans, you know, things like affliction clothing with a little bling bling action here and there. A lot of guys, well, they don't have a lot of money. If you're having problems with money, lifestyle management, better start getting a second job, better start working overtime, better start going to school so you can get a better job. Because a lot of guys, you know, they don't have money, and that's going to screw you up in your attraction phase when you're trying to go on a date. If you can't afford taking a girl out to coffee, then you have no business even crossing this threshold anyway. You better just stay in your lane, stay right here in lifestyle management until you get some money in your pocket. Sometimes even guys will complain about dating coaching. Oh, why should I pay some guy to teach me how to pick up chicks? Like, you know, I can't afford that. Dude, if you can't afford $50 for some coaching for me to teach you this stuff, then you can't afford to take a girl to coffee. You can't afford to take a girl out to dinner at Olive Garden. So you have no business in this dating game. Just don't cross this threshold right here and stay right here until you handle your finances. Okay, that's right here, finances. Stay right here until you build enough value till you're worthy of getting these types of girls. Okay? If you're not a tall, 6'4", good-looking male model, then it's not gonna cut it. You can't. If you're like a guy who's like, if you're a guy who's only like 5'6" and you're only about a 5 out of 10 in the face and you don't have a job, you're not going to be getting hot Stacy's. You're not even going to be getting Becky's. You're going to be getting like a 4 out of 10 land whale. It's going to be a post-wall roasty, right? That's all you're going to be able to get because you don't have the value for the hot women. So if you are just an average guy, you got to do other things in order to compensate for your, you know, lack of good looks, for the lack of what you're lacking in genetics, right? You're going to have to make up for it with your wallet, with social status, or with game. Right, so you're gonna have to make money. You're gonna have to exude higher status. You're gonna have to get a better job. You know, become the owner of a company, or you're gonna have to develop game and understand how to approach women. Everything that I'm teaching you here, logistics, strategies, and understanding all these tips and techniques about how to actually approach them and get them back to the house and have, you know, funny, witty humor and saying all the right things and. All right, so anyway, lifestyle management like really is probably the most important thing, and that's what I focus on mostly. Lifestyle management and target market assessment are really what separate my method from a lot of other dating coaches, because most guys, they just start right here, right? They just say, oh, here's a pickup line, go start approaching women, but they won't tell you things like, oh man, you need to like at least get a haircut. You need to put on some cologne. You need to start wearing deodorant. You know, you need to wear clothes that fit you. Because a lot of these guys will just, oh, you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt? Ah, it doesn't matter. You're not a good-looking guy, but looks don't matter. You just start approaching. Just approach 1,000 girls. Start taking massive action. Just get out there and just spam approach girls, and hopefully you play the numbers game, right? That's what a lot of the dating coaches will say. Whereas mine is like, no. If you want high-value women, then you need to become a high-value man, and you need to figure out exactly what types of women that you want in the first place. Because otherwise, if you're just approaching every girl, that's fine for practice, but some of these girls are going to say yes, and it's not going to be the type of girl that you're going to want to spend your time with. You're not going to want to invest your hard-earned money, your time, your effort, your energy into some girl who's just, you're not really into. Maybe you want 22-year-old, blonde-haired, big-tit party girls because you like their vibe and you like partying. That makes sense. But if you're a guy who likes to party and get drunk all the time, if you're going out and approaching any girls, you're going to approach girls like goth chicks or bookworms or entrepreneurial type girls or, Pilates, health and fitness girls, and it's not going to really mess with your party lifestyle, or vice versa. If you're a guy who's like introverted, all about business, and you're hitting on these party chicks that are just going to be yapping and talking all the time and drinking, and all you're trying to do is like work on yourself, it's just not going to work. There's the wrong energy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just not going to work right. It won't vibe right. So anyway, let's go into the next phase. Let's assume that you've selected the right target and you've worked on your life and you've become a high value man. Now, I'm not saying stay here forever. I mean, you could be doing this while you're doing this, right? They can go hand in hand. You can be, for example, going to the gym in the morning for like 2 hours, working on your fitness. You can go do your 8 hours at work and make money and buy stuff for your house. Remember that I do financial coaching as well. And one of the things in regards to pickup, you have to understand that a lot of guys, they think, oh, money, I want to have money in the bank. Women don't give a shit about money in the bank. If they don't have access to it, if they don't actually have access to your resources, no matter how much money you have in the bank, women don't give a shit about that. Women care about, do they have access to that money, right? Are you going to use some of that money to take them to Olive Garden? Are you going to use some of that money to buy Red Lobster? Are you going to use that money to buy a luxury sports car and be able to drive them around in it? If they don't get any of that money in the bank, it's useless. That's why, these people that are very financially successful, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, right? Jeff Bezos, they're the most financially successful people in the world, but guess what? They don't get laid. They don't get laid, right? Because they're like Scrooge McDuck. They take a lot of money, billions of dollars, and they put it in the bank. But they don't know how to spend that money. The purpose of money is to buy the things that you need to help get you laid. That's the only purpose of money. I don't buy all this luxury stuff just so I can look at it. It's so that when a girl comes to my house, she knows that I have money, so she knows I'm high value. She knows that if she's dating me, she gets access to this luxury. Therefore, she's going to give me sex in order to compensate me as I give her some of my resources. That's how it works. It's not let's make a bunch of money and let's get a pile of money and put it in my bank. Women don't care about that shit. Oh, you're worth $1 million, you're worth $10 million? Yeah. But she's thinking, where do I get some of that money? Are you going to be spending some of that money on me? Because if not, then I don't give a fuck, right? These rich guys, they don't understand how game works and how women think. Instead of piling up all that money, they could be buying an island and building a castle on it and throwing big parties. And then they'd get fucking laid. But for some reason, they can't figure that out. And that's why there's guys like me, dating coaches, who can teach you all this stuff, to enlighten you. So you'd be like, oh, shit, if you don't know that, then you need a dating coach to basically explain that shit to you. All right, so this is all about life and, improving your life and becoming that guy that women want. The kind of the guy who naturally attracts beautiful women. So let's imagine you get to this point right here. You've handled your life, right? You can do this a couple of different ways too. There's one, like I like to call monk mode. And this is like a MGTOW principle, men going their own way, which is the logo that I'm wearing right here. So there's a principle called monk mode, for example, that if you want to go hardcore into this part, lifestyle management, I like to call it monk mode, which is basically where you put dating on the back burner. You basically just never cross this threshold. You know the types of girls that you want, and you are continually improving your life to become that newer, better version of yourself, but you kind of hold off from crossing this line and actually going out and approaching women and starting relationships and trying to get laid. You just basically keep working on yourself for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years and become like the super version of yourself. So for example, maybe you're like, all right, I'm really overweight and I really want to, I don't know, write a book, or maybe you're a music artist and you want to get your album out and you want to go to the studio. So you say, all right, I'm going to put dating on the back burner, and for the next 2 years, I'm going to take 2 years off from dating, and I'm going to do nothing but go to the gym. I'm going to get six-pack abs. I'm going to get fucking jacked. And I'm going to go to the tanning salon. I'm going to get a nice bronze tan. I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to buy all brand new clothes, right? Work on your social media and all that stuff. Build your value. And you're going to be going to the studio every day, like recording your album, or you're going to be on your computer every day writing your new book. So 2 years go by, and now you're this guy who was fat and had nothing going on in their life, but to now you're in the best shape of your life, and you're now an author, or you have your new music album out, right? So you're the newer, better version of yourself. And once you get to that point, you come out of monk mode and you enter the attraction phase, where you start actually going out and approaching girls. So you've gone from here to up here, built that value, and basically now you're now worthy of getting these hot chicks because you have value to bring. Now you have those six-pack abs. Now you are the author of a new book. Now you're a real music artist, and you have an album out on iTunes. Things like that. That's going to give you more value when you get here to attraction and you start talking to the girl and she's asking you, so what do you do? You're not going to be like, oh, I'm living at my mom's house and I'm dreaming about losing weight and I'm trying to find a job. Now she says, so what do you do? And you go, oh, I'm a music artist. I just got my new album out on iTunes. I've been super busy going to the gym. I lost over 100 pounds this last 2 years. She's going to be like, wow, like that's interesting, right? Because now you have value. Now you have a life. Now you've got things going on in your life that she's going to be intrigued, and she's going to want to know more about you. She's going to be like amazed. She's going to be mesmerized. She's going to be like, wow, like this guy's interesting. He's doing things with his life. Wow, this guy might be someone I want to get to know better. So anyway, like I said, you can either do it that way. You can do the monk mode way, where you put dating on the back burner for a while and just focus on yourself, or you can be doing them at the same time. You can go to the gym, then you could go to your job, and then in the evening you can go out and approach women. I would suggest doing it that way because that's just the best way to do it, unless you're in really bad shape and then you need to stay here. And in fact, let's talk about this real quick before we go on. Now, let's talk about this real quick because, so like I said, this method is not going to work for everybody. Now, if you're a guy over here, right? Yeah, it's over for you, right? This guy, is bald. He's, look at, you could just tell like this is a lower status individual, right? So if you're like super unattractive, if you're in a really bad place, yeah, right now maybe it's over for you. Okay, and you need to basically just stay in that lifestyle management. Like, if maybe you need to go get a surgery or something like that to fix your face. Like this is a lot. This guy's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get laid, right? I don't know any girls that want to date a guy in this shape, just physically. I mean, this guy could have $1 million in the bank, but physically, I can't see a girl wanting to lay in bed naked with this dude. He's going to need to get hair restoration, definitely a haircut. He's going to need to shave. He's gonna need to get better clothes. Probably looks like he hasn't even showered. Looks like a homeless bum, right? No girl's gonna want that. This guy is gonna be stuck in lifestyle management for like 3 to 5 years to at least get himself somewhere to like a 4 or a 5, right? Now on the other side of the things, when you got these chads, these good-looking male model guys, 8 plus, right? These guys don't need dating advice because women approach them. These guys are good-looking. They don't need to know pickup lines and strategies. My stuff is for guys in the middle, right here, about 5, 6, and 7 range. Even if you're a guy in like the 4 range, I would suggest working on yourself more before you start going out. Try to get here. Try to get to like a 5, 6, 7 range. If you're just a normal guy, work on improving your life, and go out and approach women. But like I said, if you're like 4 or below, you don't need to go out and approach women because it's not going to work for you anyway. You need to fix your life first. Let me show you an example real quick. So I made this meme right here. It's all about game and confidence. And it's like a good-looking guy saying, just open the set, like he's supposed to be a dating coach. And you've got this like, obviously it's Sloth from the Goonies, but imagine it's like a really ugly dude going, okay, I'll just go open. Hey guys, quick question. And he's going up and talking to girls. Now, yeah, dude, if you look hideous like this, if you're deformed and have no teeth, yeah, it's not going to work for you. No pickup line, no amount of game, probably no amount of money is going to work for this guy. It's over for him. Okay, if you're beyond that certain looks threshold, it's not going to work for you. And you need to stay in lifestyle mastery, and you need to go get surgeries like eye surgery, jaw surgery, facial reconstruction. If you're short, you're only 3 foot tall, you need to get like leg lengthening surgery. And yeah, in that case, yeah, it's not going to work for you. Same thing here again. Like I said, good looking guys, they don't need this stuff. But if you're a guy who looks like this, it's not going to work for you. No amount of game is going to help this dude. This guy needs to get LASIK surgery. He needs to get facial reconstructive surgery. Like, he needs to go to the gym. Like, his neck is fucking tiny. He has no muscle mass here. So this guy needs surgical work. He can't even get into the game stuff. Someone like this is going to be stuck in lifestyle mastery for a couple of years until they can fix that part of their game. I made this other little meme right here. Again, you've got a really good-looking guy who's not going to need this type of stuff. Women will be approaching him. Like, women will be going on his Instagram, leaving heart eye emojis and trying to DM him. He doesn't need pickup lines and game. And then you got a guy who looks like this. It's not going to work for him. No amount of game or pickup lines is going to work. This guy, again, LASIK surgery to get rid of the glasses. He's going to need dental work. He's probably going to need to go to the gym to put on some muscle. He's going to need a haircut. He's going to need some skin smoothening. He's going to need some dark spot remover to get rid of these moles. He's going to need to shave this musty beard. Like, he's got a lot of work to do. I'm not saying it's not impossible. If this guy was a student of mine, if he paid me $2,000 and we sat down for 8 hours, I could teach him all of this stuff. We could get him a makeover. I could give him like good fashion advice. I could teach him the game and the pickup lines. And we could get this guy a girlfriend, but it's going to be a lot of fucking work. That's why I say handle all that work first, so that when you're ready to go attract girls, it's just going to be much easier for you. With the meme, like, just walk up and talk to her, bro. Just be confident, bro. Just be yourself, bro. Just get a shower, bro. Just work on yourself 24/7, bro. Just go to the gym, bro. It's so easy, bro. Like, the meme is supposed to be like when you ask a good-looking guy or something like, hey, well, how do I get chicks? And they'll always just be, oh man, it's easy, bro. Just be confident. Just go to the gym. And it's like, yeah. If you look like this, if you got a face like this, if you're fucking 6'2", 6'4", with like male model face and body, yeah, you could just be yourself. You could just walk up and be confident. It's gonna work, but it's not gonna work if this guy goes up and just be confident. If this guy just goes up and just getting a haircut is not going to help this dude. He needs a lot of work. All right, well, let's get back to the attraction part. So like I said, yeah, it's not going to work for everybody, but for those guys in that normal range, like the 5, 6, and 7 range, like myself, generally people will say like I'm a 6, maybe a 6'5" on a good day, maybe, if I'm lucky. But I'm a normal looking dude, right? I'm not like a male model looking dude. I don't have a big square jaw. I don't have small hunter eyes, right? I don't have like a giant neck. I'm not 6'4". I'm only 6 foot tall, right? I'm a normal guy. And I'm clearly not the guy on the other side who looks like homeless bum, right? Who's like fucking only 5 feet tall and bald, or like 400 pounds, or have massive acne, or like a face that's like fucking deformed. I don't look like Shrek. I just look like a normal dude. And I've been able to do this method and have sex with over 200 different women. So that's why I say, if you're a guy in that normal range, this method is going to work for you. If you're one of those 8 out of 10, 8 plus, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 guys, you look like, Leonardo DiCaprio back on Titanic. If you look like a Brad Pitt in the Fight Club, if you look like Henry Cavill, Superman, if you look like Ryan Reynolds, right? You don't need this stuff. Women will approach you and they'll make it very easy to have sex with you. If that happens to you, then you know you're like in that 8 and above range. If that never happens to you, then you know that you're not in that range. And if you're a guy who never gets anything and you're not on that other spectrum, then yeah, it's not going to work for you. But anyway, let's get back into like attraction. So attraction, what I put here is like pre-game, warming up, priming, approaching, lead generation, number closing, etc. Now attraction is a huge topic, and again we can go on for 20 hours, at least 20 hours just on this module right here. But let me basically, just like that video I showed you with that guy Joe, basically when you get to that attraction phase, I'll give you the pickup line right now. So it doesn't have to make it overcomplicated. What I teach is something very simple. What I teach you to do is you say basically this exact line, and it's like copy and paste. You're going to say it to one girl and you're going to get her phone number, and then you're going to go say it to another girl and get her phone number, and you're going to say it to another girl and get her phone number. And you say basically the same thing every time. Now, a lot of gurus will say, oh, you need to vary your openers. You need to be saying different things. Why? Girl A, girl B, and girl C, they don't know each other. They're never going to know each other. So if I go up and say one thing to girl A, and then I say the exact same thing to girl B, and then the exact same thing to girl C, just cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste, none of them know the difference. And I would rather say the exact same thing because I know I'm not going to fuck it up. I don't have to think on my feet. That's why I love canned openers or stock openers or rehearsed lines or anything like that, however you want to describe it, because I don't have to think. And the less I have to think, the more I can focus on what's going on. Let's pause that and let me come back. But basically, the pickup line that I teach you to say is, you drop your hand like this and you say, hey, real quick, super random, I can't stay long, I'm here with friends, but I saw you from over there and I thought you were super cute, or I'll say, I thought you were absolutely adorable and I had to come meet you. My name's Ryan. And then I shake her hand, or I give her a fist bump. I put my fist out like this. Or during the pandemic and Corona times, then I'll be like, oh, I can't do high five. I'll just give you a chicken wing, and I'll put my elbow out like that to tap her elbow, which is fun and flirty. And from there, then I have a little sequence of things that I say in order to get her phone number. And there's a couple different ways to do it. I teach basically a 15-second number close, which is right after that. If you notice how long that took, that literally took about 5 seconds, 7 seconds to say that. Hey, real quick, super random, I saw you from over there. I can't stay long because I'm here with friends, but I thought you were super cute and I wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. Okay, that was about 5-7 seconds. And if she responds positively and she goes, oh, hey, I'm Kim. And I go, hey, Kim, well, I got to run, but we should trade numbers. Give me your number and I'll text you tonight or tomorrow, whatever, and try to convince you to come out and have a drink. And she says, okay, time, 15 seconds. It's like 14 and a half seconds or something. So it kind of looks like this. Hey, real quick, like super random. I saw you from over there. I can't stay long. I'm here with friends, but I thought you were super cute and I wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. Right? Real fast. She says, oh, hi, I'm Kim. And you go, hey, Kim. Well, real quick, like I said, I got to get going, but you know, if you give me your number, I can text you later, try to convince you to come out and have a drink. Time. If she basically, right after that, she's going to say, okay, boom, that's where the stopwatch would. It's like, literally like 15 seconds, that whole interaction, and you'll get a phone number. It is really that easy.
Yeah, just because somebody's got a camera, I wouldn't assume they're doing something perverted.
Definitely see her pretend while we're talking.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm interviewing you.
This is the glass though.
See now, see that what he's doing right now? That was my idea.
The Facebook thing?
You know, it's like an old.
And like I said, if you do that to 50 different girls or 200 different girls at a nightclub or at the mall, or you know, like it'll usually take you about 4 hours to do that. If I'm going to a nightclub, I like to do it from about 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., right? And I talk to like 200 different groups of girls. Like I said, again, if you go to a nightclub, it's not going to be just one girl standing by herself. They're going to be standing in groups of 2, 3. They're going to be like bachelorette parties where there's 8 girls standing around. So what I teach you is to just approach the group. You know, you can either say a line like that and get her phone. If it's a group, it's a different situation. What I taught you right there is like, for example, if you were in the mall and it was just one girl. If you were at Whole Foods or Sprouts or Trader Joe's and you're shopping and one girl is walking, that's a really good approach. Hey, and like I said, you don't have to say it word for word. You want to think of it more like concept for concept. You want to just take the situation and you can kind of custom tailor it. Like I like to go to the Whole Foods. For example, that's one of my favorite places to pick up women, and people have even made a lot of memes about it. It's kind of funny to me, but Whole Foods is a place where rich people shop, and not just rich people, but the women that shop there, they're usually well off, wealthy, rich. They're usually higher status, higher class. They're usually in good shape, and they are into a health and fitness type of lifestyle. So you're going to just get high quality women at Whole Foods. It's a great place to go, and they're busy, they're shopping. So it makes sense if a girl's shopping to walk up as you're with your cart and you just kind of give her a double take. Hey, real quick, you know, super random. I saw you from over there. I thought you were super cute and I wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. Oh, hey, I'm Kim. Hey, Kim, you know, well, I know you're shopping, I'm shopping, so, you know, I can't stay long, but if you give me your number, I'll text you later and try to convince you to come out and have a drink. And that's all you got to say. You're in the store, it's very quick, you get her number, and then you move on. Then you go down the next aisle and you do it to the next girl. And you go down the next aisle, you do it to the next girl. You do the same little copy and paste approach, and you just get as many numbers as you can. And like I said, the more numbers that you have, the more that you're putting into this funnel, the more chances you have of getting laid. Yes, some of them are going to be wrong numbers. Some of them are going to be flakes. You call them back, sometimes they're going to be unavailable. Sometimes you call them back and they got busy, they lost the attraction, they forgot who you are. They met another guy who was taller, better looking, and makes more money than you later that night, and now she doesn't even give a fuck about you, right? So it is just a numbers game, which is why you got to put in as many numbers as you can into this funnel in order to get more ROI, return on investment, more lays at the end. If I put 200 numbers into this funnel 5 to 7 days a week, that's like 1,000 different numbers. But I'm not going to get 1,000 lays at the end of the week because Some of them, again, they're not going to pick up the phone. They're going to meet somebody else, right? You're only going to get a lot of the best guys. They all say about 10%. I don't know. I've never done the math on mine. I just, like I said, I focus on just getting as many numbers as I can, and then following up the next day, calling them back. Hey, this is Ryan. I met you at Whole Foods. And she goes, oh, hey, yeah, this is Kim. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, so, I'm super busy, but we should grab a drink sometime. What are you doing later? I was just going to be having some beers at my house, watching some Netflix. Do you want to come by and chill? Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she says, oh, I don't know. I just met you. I don't want to go to your house yet. And I'll say, oh, okay, well, there's a bar right down the street. And she'll say, okay, that's fine. So let's go over here real quick. So we were talking earlier, there's really 3 ways that you could be meeting women in this attraction phase. You've got online game, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Facebook, dating, Instagram, if you want to just straight DM chicks, if they don't have too high of a follower rate, because if it's too high, once it starts getting 50, 70,000, 100,000, they're never going to see your message because they have fucking 50,000 thirsty simps that are also DMing them and liking every fucking picture with heart eye emojis, and then they also commenting on their stories, and it floods their fucking box. And if they're not following you back, they don't see your message anyway because it goes to the secondary box. And even with 7,000 followers myself, that's not a lot, but I don't see all of my messages. If it's a busy day and I get a shit ton of messages, and I get messages from people who I'm not following back, and they're watching my story, and they put like the little 100 emoji or the clapping hands on one of my stories, I might not see it for fucking 2 weeks. I just don't see it. So anyway, TikTok, some people TikTok, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, Match.com, eHarmony. Like, there's so many, dude. Seeking Arrangement, Meet Me, Scout. Like, there's just infinite numbers of Live Me, fucking apps that you can meet girls on. But that's all online game. Okay, then there's day game, meeting girls in the day. So like at the mall, going to the park, beach, casinos, lobbies, lounges, just on the street. And I don't mean like an alleyway. Okay, I don't mean like a dark alleyway in some like ghetto neighborhood. I mean like the street, like the promenade. Like if you're in Los Angeles, like 3rd Street promenade on the street. I mean, like if you're in Vegas, like on the Las Vegas Strip. That's what I mean by the street. I don't mean like a fucking on the avenue, on the bungalow. I don't mean on a fucking like down in an alley or something. Grocery stores, like I said, Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Target, Walmart, any of those type of places. Just meeting girls in the day or night game. So you got bars, nightclubs, strip clubs, restaurants, the street again, like at night. 3rd Street Promenade at night or something like that, the beach, the pier, concerts, special events, etc. So those are basically the places that you could meet girls and open them up and get phone numbers, leads, right? The sales funnel, like we were talking about. So I call this like collection of leads, meaning number closes, email closes, or at closes, which is, like Instagram close or Facebook close or anything like that. Basically just getting her contact number, but primarily phone numbers is really the most important thing, because otherwise it can get lost in the shuffle. And so really what we're doing here is once you're getting the leads, then you get into lead management. So for example, you're working your leads, you're turning your leads into a phone number, then your phone number leads to text game, that leads to setting up and managing dates, phone calls, video chats, handling objections, working social media, etc. So let's break this down real quick. So like I said, we're here in this attraction phase, right? So we're hitting up girls online. You got your Tinder profile, your Bumble profile, and I teach guys how to set up all this stuff and basically optimize it so that they get the best possible results. For example, I have a diamond package. It's my $2,000 8-hour package where guys get coaching with me for 8 hours live. And part of that is basically a photo shoot at my house here with the green screen, high quality camera, aesthetic upgrades, basically to get you guys the best quality pictures, model quality stuff, and you can see a lot of my high quality pictures that I've done for myself on my Instagram at Jaunzemis. And on my diamond package, basically, that's one of the first things we do is we go to the spa, you get your nails done, mani, pedi, we go to the barber, you get your hair cut, you bring 3 outfits, and basically I take a couple hundred pictures of you, professional quality camera, lens, lighting. I take a couple hundred shots. We choose basically the 3 best shots, and for the next hour, we basically do some aesthetic upgrades with Photoshop, Lightroom, and basically get you like model quality pictures for your Tinder, and then I show you how to write a bio and basically set up your Tinder in order to get the best possible results. And a quick tip for you guys doing Tinder as well is you don't have to have just one Tinder profile. You could have fucking 2, 3, 4, or 5 Tinder profiles if you want, which is going to help you to even swipe on more girls, which is ultimately going to give you more chances to get more leads, and that'll give you more chances to get more phone numbers and ultimately more lays. So that's a good tip for you guys. So anyway, let's just do a hypothetical situation that we're going to like a bar or a nightclub, right? We've assessed our target market. For example, we want 22-year-old blondes with big tits. We know that 22-year-old blondes with big tits probably want guys who have a little bit of money, have their life together. They're probably not going to want like fucking homeless bums like I saw on the street. So we've stepped up our game. You know, we've been going to the gym. We've got some nice visible abs. Our house is pretty on point. We got a nice seduction layer going, right? We got some good area lighting. We've got a full stock bar. We want to meet these 22-year-old blonde chicks who like to party and drink and have big titties. They're probably going to want to drink more after the club, right? So we set up our house with a full stock bar, and we're ready to pull these fucking chicks. So we're going out right here in the attraction phase to a nightclub like Omnia at Caesar's Palace, for example, or whatever. You know, maybe if you're in Hollywood, the Avalon, or you're in Ibiza, or you're in London. You're in a place where there's some good light nightclubs and stuff like that. So you're going up, and you're approaching these blonde 22-year-old chicks with, you know, and you're approaching girls in the nightclub. You're walking up. Now remember I said earlier when it's like a one-off girl, I like to do that, hey, real quick, super random. I thought you were super cute, and I just wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. Just a simple line like that. Get a phone number, and then I eject. Okay. Or sometimes I like to go for what's called the instant date, which is I'll ask them, so what are you doing right now? Why don't we go grab a cup of coffee? Let me just show this to you real quick when we're talking about an instant date. So for example, this is a Vons that I go to, and I have a whole video about this. I'll put the thumbnail right here about how to get insta dates. But so for example, this is a Vons, but inside the Vons it has a Panda Express. It has a little coffee place right here. Watch. There's a Starbucks coffee inside. Okay, there's a Jamba Juice inside. Here's the coffee place right there, different angle. And here's the Panda Express. So there's a sit-down location. You can basically have a date inside the store. I like to call it an instant date. So now this picture's kind of shitty right here, but it will give you a general idea. So for example, let's imagine I'm rolling down the aisle with my shopping cart. What I like to do is I like to throw a bunch of food in the shopping cart, because after the pickup line, if I get to talking to the girl, she might ask, you know, what am I shopping for? What am I doing? Or I might just offer the information. And I basically set it up as a way to demonstrate higher value and that I have a life. So what I'll do is I'll put a bunch of meat, a bunch of steak and beer in my shopping cart. And then I'll see the girl and I'll go, hey, real quick, super random. I saw you from over there. I saw you from over there. You know, I can't stay long because I'm shopping. But I just want to say I thought you were super cute and I wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. Hey, I'm Kim. Hey, I'm Jessica, whatever it is. And I'll say, yeah, there's a big like barbecue that I'm having with my friends. We're having like a pool party. So I was just getting some beer and things like that. I was thinking about, it's a potluck, and I was thinking about making like some kind of jello or something like that. What do you think would be a good dessert? You know, give me a female opinion. What do you think would be a good dessert? And that can just kind of lead the conversation into, one, letting her know that I have friends, that I'm going to parties, that I have, I'm going to a big pool party, and that's kind of shows her that I'm living an interesting life. She might want to be a part of that. Maybe she's not doing shit that day, and she's like, wow, I wish I was going to a party. Wow, damn, that beer looks really good, or that bottle of wine, or then I say, I'm thinking of it as a potluck. I might bring like a Jello. What do you think would be cool to bring? Now she has something to talk about. She can share with me her favorite food that she likes to cook, and that can kind of lead the conversation up. But the point of the instant date is, instead of just going for the phone number, instead of me pulling out the phone and like, okay, well, let me get your number and I'll call you later to try to get you to have a drink. You could do that and you had to get a lead. But instead of this way, I could get her number, but I could also then say, hey, well, what are you doing right now? And she's like, oh, just shopping. And I say, well, I'm kind of thirsty. I was going to get a Starbucks real quick. Do you want to join me? Or I might say, instead of asking her, I might just tell her, I'll be like, you should join me. Yeah, I was about to go to the Starbucks right now and get a drink. You should join me. First round's on me, or something like that. If I invite her, I think it's fair. I don't think it's simping to pay for a coffee, because it's just like a craps table at Vegas. I'm not going to win at craps if I don't actually put $5 on the pass line. You have to. If I just stand and look at the board and I don't put money on the pass line on the craps table, I have no chance of winning the jackpot, right? I have to at least put an ante in there. I don't want to be her simp or her beta male provider. So I'll kind of just be like, yeah, I was going to go get a coffee. This first round's on me if you're interested. I might say something around those lines. And if she is interested, then she's going to be like, okay, sure. So we go directly, right? Instead of just getting her number and calling her sometime, because that's what I like to call a stairway to heaven, because there's no other side to that. There's no guarantee that she's going to pick up later. Okay, it's not like a time bridge. We'll talk about that in a second, where we bridge the gap of time between the time that I get her phone number and the time that I see her again. A time bridge has two sides. We'll get into that in a second. But boom, we call this an instant date, because now there's a Starbucks right here in the store, and I take her directly from here to order a coffee and then sit down, like right here. This could be where she's sitting, and this could be where I'm sitting, or actually this could be where I'm sitting right here, and this could be where she's sitting. I would probably sit here because of this wall and the perimeter. This will have higher value, because I'll be able to lean back against the wall and take up more space. That looks more alpha, right? If I was leaning against that wall and I was drinking my coffee, right? Speaking of drinks, I'm gonna go get another drink right now. Hold on. Right. So right now I'm sitting right here at this, right here in the corner, and leaning against this part right here. And now I've got my, got my coffee right there. So tell me something about yourself. What are you into? What are you passionate about? Tell me, right? So I might ask her something like, so what's in your CD player right now? Or who's your favorite YouTuber? I'm going to ask her some kind of open-ended question, not not a yes or no question, but a question that she's got to give some value back for. But I'm going to ask her some kind of open-ended question to get the conversation going. Also, when I'm talking to her, I'm going to be doing what's called multiple threading. So I'm not just talking about one topic of conversation, like, who's your favorite YouTuber? Oh, right on. Yeah, I like that YouTuber too. What video of his do you like? Oh, that's interesting. I like this video. Okay, so because that could get kind of boring, I'm going to do what's called like multiple threading. Hey, who's your favorite YouTuber? What kind of music are you into? Then I'm going to go back. It's interesting, on YouTube, I saw this video, blah, 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 blah. Do you have any brothers or sisters? What else are you passionate about? Do you play an instrument? Interesting. Oh, hold on. There's this meme I want to show you. Right? So I'm going to be bringing up multiple conversational topics to spark the girl's brains, to get the emotions pumping. So she's going to be like, oh, wow, this guy's interesting. He talks about interesting stuff. I'm going to be expressive. I'm going to use body language. Like I said, taking up space, letting her know I'm an alpha male. Basically, like, taking up all that extra space, relaxing, being comfortable. I'm going to be expressive when I talk. I'm not going to be the guy who just talks like this, who doesn't make eye contact with her, who has his hands in his pockets, who talks very monotone, who's not really sure of himself, who's like shy and like not mumbling. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to be expressive. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be sure of what I'm talking about. And even if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm still going to come off with that confidence and charisma, so that she feels I know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes the girl will just like their confidence. They're going to be talking about things that I don't know shit about, but as long as you say it confidently. But anyway, so I'm sitting right here having an instant date, and that is our first date. There is no thinking about, should I take her to Olive Garden? Should I Red Lobster? Should I take her for a walk in the park? Should I go ice skating? Like, that's it. That was the first date. I met her here in like the cereal aisle, and boom, our first date is at a Starbucks. That's it. That's the instant date. Okay? And now from the instant date, that's an instant date, for example, in a store, but what about across the street from the store? Because there's going to be some stores that don't have that, but maybe you meet a girl, like I said, in the cereal aisle, and then you say the Starbucks is across the street. Or sometimes I meet a girl at a bar, and I'll say, you know what? We're going to go get breakfast. And she'll say, breakfast? And I'll say, yeah, there's like a Denny's down the street. We're going to go get some breakfast. And I'll go from the bar to the Denny's. And the Denny's, that's the instant date. Or I like to call it a bounce too. And that is our first date. Going to Denny's, having the breakfast. And then, of course, the next step from the bounce, the instant date, basically going to another venue, you can either go for the pole, a time bridge to a day two, a date, etc. Okay? So let me break down what that means. Again, like I said, you're going for the lead. For example, you go for the phone number. Or you can just go for what's called a poll, okay? Or an insta-fuck, right? So that's basically, you take the target instantly from meet to sex. Okay? You meet the girl, you go straight to sex. For example, maybe you go fuck her in a public toilet. If you're in a bar or a nightclub, you take her to the women's toilet and you fuck her in the toilet stall. Or you pull her straight back to your house or her house, okay? And that is the pull. That's the insta-fuck. You can only pull if you're here when you're meeting her, okay? So you're here in the attraction phase. You meet the girl. Hey, what's up? I thought you were super cute. I wanted to meet you. I'm Ryan. Hey, I'm Kim. Nice to meet you, Kim. What are you doing right now? Not too much. You want to hang out? Sure. What do you want to do? Well, I got some fucking Girl Scout cookies. That's a strain of weed. It's really good weed. So sometimes I got some Girl Scout cookies at my house. Do you smoke? Yeah, I smoke. Shit, let's go smoke. Let's go watch some fucking Netflix or something. Right? So you go basically right from meeting her at the bar, right here in the attraction phase. You open the set. Okay, you start the conversation, and you basically say, let's go hang out. You don't even ask her for her phone number. You just go, hey, let's go hang out. She says yes. That's a poll. You go straight back to your house. You have sex with her. This box right here, this poll and this Instafucks box, this name is as sex right here. It's like a warp zone when you do it like this. Okay, so for example, like I said, you're in a bar. You're here in the attraction phase. You approach the girl. You open the set, and you basically go for a poll or an insta-fuck inside the club. This is what I like to call that 5-minute sex, the insta-fuck, the 7 to 10 minute sex, 15-minute sex. Somewhere around in that time frame, you can literally, and a lot of guys don't believe that this is possible because they're not used to getting these types of results, but like I said, I've done it a bunch of times. My students have done it. I've been with students when they've done it. It's really easy. Once you figure out how to do this, it'll shatter your limiting beliefs what I'm about to show you. But it is possible to fuck a girl within just 5 minutes of meeting her. You approach her in the club, you open the set, hey, what's up? I thought you were super cute. You guys start dancing, you start making out, you guys start touching, and then what I like to do is I either bring her to basically in the club toilet, go usually in the girls' bathroom. I don't like to take her in the men's because men kind of gawk. And especially in Vegas, I mean, sex in a toilet happens all the time. It just might not happen to you guys because you don't have that game. You don't have your game tight yet. But like I said, if you train with me, you will. But, you know, when you go into the women's restroom, you'll notice, like, if you're holding the woman's hand and she takes you in the bathroom and you go in the toilet, sometimes women might go, oh. But they don't really care because it happens all the time. It's not a new thing. But if you take a woman into the men's restroom, men are going to be like looking, trying to like look through the stall. It's just not, it kind of kills the vibe. Women, for example, like they'll just leave the bathroom. It's interesting. I don't know. I fucked a lot of girls in bathrooms in Vegas, porta potties, and or ADA service bars, which is what I want to show you right here. Okay, so this is what's called an ADA service bar. I think it stands for American Disability Act, and basically this is where either wheelchair people, it's handicap accessible. So because the bar right here is, you know, taller, this is where bar stools go. But this one is where like a wheelchair can have a drink, or this is where the bartender puts the drinks on the table for the waitress, and then the cocktail waitress picks up the drinks and goes and brings them to the tables. But in a packed nightclub, in a high volume nightclub, when this place is packed, you know, shoulder to shoulder, it's very easy to meet a girl on a dance floor and then basically take her and you sit her right here, like her legs are straddled like this, and let's see, basically, for example, her legs will be like this, and you'll be kind of in the middle of her legs, okay? And so you guys are kind of dancing, you're chilling, right? You're making out, you're kind of like, you know, you might be grabbing her ass a little bit, and then what you do right there is you just fucking pull your dick out. Just fucking unbutton your pants. You might fucking stroke your fucking cock a little bit, get it hard, and you kind of just like inch her up a little bit, right? And if she's just wearing a skirt or a cocktail dress, all you do is like you just kind of push her panties to the side and you just fucking rub on her clit a little bit, right? So she's over here, you're fucking playing with her pussy, and she's like kind of kissing you, and she's drunk and she's having fun, and you're kind of fingering her a little bit. She's loving it. And then if she's wearing jeans, it's a little harder. If she's wearing jeans, it's better to take her to a toilet. But if she's wearing a skirt, you can easily just put her right there, start playing with her pussy, pull out your cock, and then what you do, you have a condom in your left front pocket, and you pull the condom out, tear it off, put the wrapper back in your pocket, and you start rolling the condom. Now you're doing this in the middle of the club, but you got to remember, in high volume nightclubs, there's thousands of people in there. They're next to you drinking, but they don't see what you're doing. They might even be right here. Nobody can see you. The bartender's busy. There's loud music fucking bumping, and you know, like nobody knows what you're doing. So you just kind of roll the condom back real quick. And I'm not talking about having a full-on sex. I'm talking about you're just basically going to dip it in, like give her a couple of good pumps just to establish her dominance. Let her know that you ain't some fucking bitch motherfucker. Like, you're a guy who's going to fuck the shit out of this girl, right? You're not scared of her. You're not scared of fucking her. You're not trying to be her friend to pick out, to hold her purse or something like that, or buy her dinner. Like, you're an alpha male. You're about to fuck this girl. And so you're a fucking alpha, you're a fucking silverback fucking alpha male gorilla, apex predator about to fuck this bitch, right? And so you put the condom on, you get a hard dick, bro, and you just kind of inch her up, and then you just kind of put it in. Right there, you just kind of fuck her real quick. Right, you just kind of put it in, right? Maybe give her a little kiss on the neck, maybe bite her ear a little bit, you know, and she's going to be like, she's over here going, oh, yeah, right? Now, here's the secret. You don't want to get all like, right? Because then people are going to see you and you're going to get called out and security's going to flash the light and kick you guys. You're going to get an 86 off the property. You can't do that. Just enough to kind of hit it a little bit. Maybe like 1 minute, maybe like 2 minutes at the most. This is where you have to have restraint. This is where the real skill comes in of being a master pickup artist, is to actually stop the sex, right? You got the sex. Now you're going to just basically tell, hey, all right, I'm not trying to get too crazy. I'm not trying to get too crazy. She might even be like, oh, I want more. You'd be like, you want more? Look, why don't we get out of here and we can do this properly? We have all night, okay? So that kind of lets her know, I'm not in a rush. I got lots of beautiful women. I do this all the time. This is not a big deal. This is not the first time I got fucking laid. And that's going to make her feel more comfortable. It's going to let her know that you're not some fucking thirsty beta male simp, that you are a real player. Like, you're a guy who does this all the time. This is nothing new to you. So she's going to respect that, okay? And again, now if she gets uncomfortable, if all of a sudden she realizes that you're fucking her because she was wasted, and now she's like, wait, we can't do this. You can go, oh no, I was just messing around. It's just a tip. Doesn't even count. Doesn't even count. Even though it does count. Okay, guys, if just the tip touches, it doesn't even matter if it's a condom or whether you're going raw or you have a condom. If the tip of the dick touches the pussy, you get the trophy. Okay, but for peace of mind for her, you can be, oh no, it's just a tip. It doesn't even count, and then she won't remember it anyway. But anyway, so what you do basically, you come back, you take the condom off, you tie it in a knot, put it in your pocket. You know, she's kind of gonna fix up her panties real quick, and then she's gonna get off of the bar, and then you got, let's go dance a little bit more. Or you just take her by the hand and you go, let's get out of here. And then you go back to your house, and then you do the whole on, 20, 30, 45 minutes, whatever, however you want to do that. Or you could just fucking use it for pump and dump. You don't have to be there for a long time. It's it's about having a good time. It's not about being there for a long time. I'm trying to fix the focus on here. Okay. I'm gonna drink too. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the ADA service bar. Or like I said, you take her to a stall in the bathroom, and that's how you insta-fuck. Okay. So that's a pull. That's an insta-fuck. You can take her out behind the bar and fuck her behind the dumpster. You can fuck her in a porta potty. You can fuck her in the back of your car. A lot of times, I met a girl, and from the bar, then you go, basically, I'll tell her, hey, well, I want to show you my mixtape. And you take her from the bar to your car, and you can just turn on the car, turn on the heater, because you're just kind of cold in the middle of the night, and you could just put your phone, you could put a CD in, or you could put your fucking phone with the aux. As a musician, you might just show her your mixtape real quick, and that's where you guys start making out. And then you come out of the front doors, into the back doors, into the back of your car. She gives you a blowjob. Maybe you lick her pussy. Then you guys fuck. And there you go. Insta-fuck. And you can do that literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the set. It's not actually that hard. It's actually... and it happens a lot more times than you think. It's not really that difficult, and there's a lot of things in this community. A lot of people talk about the 7-hour rule, where you're supposed to spend at least like 4 to 10 hours with a girl before you have sex with her, because you can get buyer's remorse and all this other bullshit, and it's just not true. Out of all the girls that I fucked, and like I said, I've been with over 200 girls, the majority of them all close within 45 minutes to an hour and a half. That's like, for some reason, that's like the sweet spot. That's enough time to talk to the girl, spit some game, get comfortable with each other. A lot of girls that I hook up to are also like from nightclubs or bars. So it's enough time to basically like smoke a cigarette, drink, maybe even smoke a second cigarette, chit chat, demonstrate value. I usually show her the picture of me on the cover of the magazine. That's one of the first things I do, because I'm into basically called rapid DHV upload, where I call, I also use the term ARV, which is acquire real value, which also has to do with lifestyle management. But demonstrate higher value, DHV, for example, would be, the girl says, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm a dating coach. I'm actually the top dating coach in Vegas. I was featured on the cover of 7 magazine. And I'll pull out my phone and I'll show her the picture of it, so she knows I'm not bullshitting. Because any guy could say that, but I have a picture of me on the cover there. And as soon as she sees that, she knows I'm a high value person. She says, oh wow, this is a top, not just a top dating coach, but he's on the cover of a magazine. And if a girl lives in Vegas and she's a local, then she knows what 7 is, because that's one of the free magazines that goes to every house and every fucking hotel. That's a big time. Also Las Vegas Weekly or whatever. And I'll say, yeah, and I do, YouTube videos and stuff like that. And usually I'll say, yeah, are you on Instagram? I'll follow you. And as soon as she sees my Instagram and she sees 7,000 followers, then she's like, oh, wow, this guy's like legit. And she sees the high quality pictures. So basically, when I approach a girl, like I said, I open the set, I'll tell her she was cute, we'll smoke a cigarette, we'll have a drink, I'll demonstrate that value, let her know who I am, what I'm about, and we'll do some fun, flirty conversation. I'll ask her some questions, what are you passionate about, blah, blah, blah. We start kissing, I physically escalate the situation, I isolate my target, and then the sex happens, and it's usually like in that sweet spot between 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So that's just how it works once you start getting into this game, and you figure that you don't have to be doing 3-4 dates, taking them to Olive Garden, buying a fucking lobster and fettuccine alfredo and tour of Italy. Like, if you're spending, first of all, if you're spending money, you're doing it wrong. Like, other than maybe buying a drink, maybe buying a coffee, if we do the like a first date, or buying them a coffee on an Insta date. But if you're doing stuff like first dates to like Olive Garden, and then you're doing a second date to like Cheesecake Factory, and then you're taking them on a third date to, Red Lobster or Sizzler, and you're still not getting laid, you're doing it wrong. And basically she's just using you as a beta male provider, trying to extract resources from you. I would cut her off. If it's taking you 1, 2, 3, 4 dates, taking them to, like I said, like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Cheesecake Factory, just to get laid, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be having to spend any money. If you are, basically what that's saying is that the girl sees you as a beta male provider. She's looking to extract resources from you. She's not really attracted to you, or what she's attracted to is the money and the lifestyle that you can provide. And if you want to play the game that way, fine. You got to do whatever you got to do to get laid. I'm not going to hate on a player. So you got to do what you got to do, but I'm not spending any money other than, like I said, buying a girl maybe a drink, maybe a coffee if we bounce and do an instant date, and then taking her back to my place. And the only money that I'm spending there is if she's drinking from my full stock bar. Or a couple of beers in the fridge, or giving her a cigarette, or if I invite her over to have dinner while we're watching a movie, and the $2 that I spent on some Prego spaghetti sauce, or some noodles, or that really doesn't cost a lot of money. I don't really consider that spending a lot of money. That's not like taking her on a first date to like an Olive Garden where you're spending like $90, giving her like tour of Italy and fettuccine alfredo with dipping sauce for the breadsticks, just to get like a kiss goodnight, and then taking her to a second date to like Cheesecake Factory or going ice skating, and then you're spending another like $100, and then you're trying to set up a third date hoping that you can get laid, and by then she goes, you know what, I just want to be friends. She puts you in the fucking let's just be friends zone. You get LJBF'd. And if you're doing that, something is off in your game, in your attraction and your comfort phase, like I told you over here, which means that you fucked up somewhere in this point of the method, and you need to work on that part of your game, or you just need to go back to lifestyle management and build more value as a man, so she becomes more attracted to you, and you don't have to do all that stupid bullshit. Like I said, that's why I put a little red line right here, because I call this almost like the point of no return, for lack of a better term. Because if you're having to go to like third dates, I understand second dates, because sometimes the logistics. Okay, sometimes she really is with her friends when you meet her, and you have to get her number, and she's not comfortable meeting up to go to your house. She's not comfortable with you fucking her in a toilet, and she wants to meet up for a public date, and you go to a Starbucks down the street. For me, there's like 2 places right where I live, next to the college. I either take a girl to the Einstein's Bagels for like a coffee and a bagel, or there's a Starbucks on the next block where I take her for a coffee, and that will be our first public date. And from there, then I'm going to basically say, what are you doing after this, or what are you doing later, or I'll end the date and then I'll call her up later, or she'll call me up later and say, what are you doing? And I'll say, I'm just chilling, having some beers, watching Netflix. Do you want to come over and chill? And then she comes over to the house and we have sex. So after the first date, basically the first date goes for the sex. Okay, fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong. Let's go through that real quick. I meet a girl at a bar, or I meet her online, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, whatever. We chit-chat on the app. I tell her something like, hey, I don't really like talking on the app that much. Give me your phone number, and we'll basically I'll say like, we should hang out. Let's discuss it over text, right? And so she'll give me her phone number. I switch from the app, from like Tinder into a text, or if I meet her at like night game or day game, whether it's at a mall or a bar or whatever, I say, hey, I thought you were cute. Let me get your number. I get her number and I text her. My text game is tight. I say, hey, why don't you come over? She's like, oh, I'm not really comfortable. I just met you. And I say, okay, well, let's go get some coffee. That's, pretty low key. So that's a very low investment kind of ordeal. So if she's really not interested, she's not going to go for it. If she is interested, she'll go for the coffee. The coffee becomes the first date going to the Starbucks. And then from the Starbucks, I position it to say, well, let's go back to my house to hang out, and that's where the sex will happen. So it's like the first date at Starbucks, and then we go for the sex. Okay, fine. But what happens if we go to the Starbucks, for example, and I've had this situation before where I had to work later that evening. I had a graveyard shift. So I couldn't bring a girl back to my house because then I would be calling in sick to work, and I'm going to lose money, and that's not good. You can do that once or twice here and there, especially if you're a working man. Okay, fine. Call out sick once or twice, but if you do that all the time, you're going to get fucking fired, bro. It's not going to work for you. So it's better to, I'm just being real right here. And she could have the same situation. For example, I had a girl that I brought to the Starbucks one time, and I was like, I had a graveyard shift later. So I was like, well, I'd like to hang out, but I can't do anything later. What are you doing tomorrow? And she's like, not much. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like, we could go chill. I was actually going to go because I had to go to the mall, and I was going to go buy some shoes or whatever. And I was like, I've got to go to the mall. I've got to handle some business, buy some stuff. If you want to tag along with me, and then we could go grab some ice cream at the food court or something. And she's like, okay. So that became our second date. She met me at the mall. We had ice cream. And then from there, it was like, well, what are you doing later? Oh, nothing. Well, I'm going to go back to watch some Netflix, or I'm going to go back to my house. Let's go drink. Let's go smoke some weed, whatever. Let's go get high. And so the second date was us eating ice cream at the mall, and then us going back to the house for the sex. I don't see anything wrong with that, but if you're starting to go into like third dates and fourth dates, and she's not putting out, you're not even getting a makeout, then you've done something wrong in your attraction phase. She's not attracted to you. You haven't built enough comfort, so you can't get into the seduction phase. Or overall, she just doesn't see you as a high value man. You've messed up in your lifestyle management. You need to go back to this phase. I want to talk more about this phase because this is really the most important phase. Right? We'll go back to this in a minute, but like I said, you should be able to do this much faster. You shouldn't have to do all these different dates. The only reason that you need to do dates is because your logistics are bad. Like I said, I met the girl and I was actually busy. I had shit to do, so I got her number. When I text her, we went to a date, let's say to get a Starbucks, and I had to work grave later, or she had to meet up with family, so we couldn't go back to the house. The logistics were fucked up, so we have to do a second date. Okay, so just to build a little more comfort, and then the second date, we'll go to the house. Okay, I'll text you later. Fine. I text her later. Yeah, I'm killing at the house. She's like, no, I don't really want to do that. I say, okay, well, let's go get some ice cream or whatever. Something low key. Again, we go to the second date. We have some ice cream. Boom. And then we make back to the house or something like that. And like I said, if you're going for a third meeting, I'm sure for the most part, sometime between your first date and your second date, right? You should have be able to have enough time and comfort built up to get her back to your house. If you're having to go to a third date, Oh, okay, let's go out again. Let's go do miniature golf. It's like, no, bro. It's like she's not interested in you. She is basically just using you for your time, for your attention. You're giving her some kind of validation. She enjoys just kind of like seeing how thirsty you are. Like, oh my God, this guy's going to take me out to... And a lot of you guys are taking girls out to fucking $200 dinners. I know, I did before I learned the game. I took a girl out to a $200 dinner at the top of the stratosphere. The restaurant is called the Top of the World. I bought her $60 plate of Kobe beef, hoping, oh, I'm going to get laid. This was like in 2006 before I learned the game. Thinking, oh yeah, if I buy all this food, hopefully she'll give me sex. Dude, she ate that Kobe beef. She drank those $14 drinks. I spent $200. She gave me a kiss goodnight, and I never saw her again. Okay, that's what they do. They love getting a free meal. They love the validation. They love the attention. It's like a drug for them. You know, seeing a guy who wants it so bad, who's going to spend all his money, he's going to put all his time, effort, and energy into it, and then they'll basically just ghost you. And then they'll, you know, and now the game is flipped. I remember this was like in 2010, there was a girl that I was dating. I was in an LTR, a long-term relationship. And it was so funny once I had flipped the game and I became the guy that I'm talking about here, becoming that guy of higher value, becoming that man of higher value. I called the girl up and I was like, what are you doing tonight? And she's like, oh, this guy's taking me on a date. And I was like, oh, really? Where's he taking you? She's like, Olive Garden. And I was like, okay, nice. Well, after you're done, why don't you come over and kick it, right? So she's like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to let him buy me a dinner and a couple more drinks. And so she texts me a little bit. She's like, I'll be over in a little bit. I'm going to let him buy me a few more drinks. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, when you're done, stop by the store, get a frozen pizza and a 6-pack of beer, and then come over to my house. So this guy basically dishing out the money, bought her fucking, you know, tour of Italy with like the lasagna, the spaghetti sauce, the spaghetti and the lasagna and all that shit. Bought her fucking $14 drinks, and mimosas, and you know, fucking Mai Tais, and she's just drinking on his dime. Gave him a kiss on the cheek goodnight, and then she basically stopped at the store, bought a frozen pizza, got some beer, came over to my house to suck my dick. Was I paying for dates? Was I paying for Olive Garden? No. I told her to fucking, she bought a pizza, she bought the beer, came over to my house to fuck. And I was like, so how was your date? And she's like, oh, he was so nice. You know, he bought me all these, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like a bunch of basically free food for you. And she's like, oh my God, he wanted it so bad. And as a pickup artist, you start to see this stuff and you're like, damn, like, it's funny to watch her go out and just basically collect the validation from this simp. You know, collecting, you know, a free dinner, free drinks, validation, compliments. She gets to put all this in her validation belt, right? And at the end of the night, she gives him a kiss on the cheek. Good night. Oh, you're so sweet. We could be, I know I don't see you that way, but you know, we should definitely be friends. Let's keep in touch. Let's be friends on Facebook. And the guy's thinking like, oh yeah, if I just take her out to more dinners, if I just take her out to Olive Garden and Red Lobster and Cheesecake Factory, and you know, by the 6th date, oh, hopefully she'll give me sex. Like, if you're playing it that way, it's wrong, because at the end of the day, she's going home and then she's fucking a dude like me and I'm not paying anything. So it's just, if you're, like I said, if you haven't fucked by the end of day 3, dude, I would just call it a dead set and fucking move on to the next girl. Don't waste your time, bro. There's too many girls out there. There's too much opportunity out there, especially when you have strategy like what I'm giving you. When I'm giving you the real techniques to pick up girls. You don't have to play all those fucking stupid games. So let's backtrack a little bit and give you guys a couple of lessons right here. Because a lot of you guys are thinking about this the wrong way. You're thinking about, oh, what should I take her on a date, you know. By the way, this says like day 2, day 3, day 4. Let me explain that concept real quick. So as a pickup artist, I try not to, like, I write first date so that people understand, because most people understand that terminology. But as a pickup artist, I like to think of it as more like day 2, day 3, day 4. And what that means is, let's say that day 1, that's at the club. That's your approaching her, getting her phone number. Okay? And what you do is when you get her phone number, you're setting up your first date, what I like to call the day two, because it's really all just one interaction. It's just that it might happen on multiple days. So if I meet her on Friday night at a club and I get her phone number, and I call her up on Saturday, let's say, to meet up Saturday night for a date, that's really just day two of the same interaction. And let's say we go out and we had a coffee or a dinner or whatever on Saturday night, and then I say, that was really fun. Tomorrow night, let's go miniature golf, the blacklight miniature golf kiss, right? So that would be a second date, but it's day three on the same interaction. That's just what that means. That's an easier way. That's the way that I understand it, and that's the way that I teach it. I think it makes more sense like that, because instead of thinking, oh, this is the first date, and then our second date is like in a week, and then next Thursday we're going on our third date. Well, it doesn't matter, like all these different dates all over the place. If you block it all together, it's day one, day two, day three, until the point that you close. Then you don't have to worry about these days, day two, day three anymore. And I talked about time bridging earlier. I have a whole video. I'll put the thumbnail up here for it. It's a really powerful video. But a time bridge is a concept. Basically, what that means is that you're bridging the gap of time. For example, right here, you're at a nightclub. Let's say you're at a bar. Okay, you're at the bar, the PT's Pub down the street. For me, I know that off the top of my head. Let's say I'm at the PT's Pub, the PT's Gold, or whatever. You're at a bar, some kind of fucking bar. You're meeting a girl. You approach her there. You're like, hey, I thought you're cute. I wanted to come meet you. And so you start talking to her. And instead of just getting her phone number and saying, hey, give me your phone number, I'll call you sometime. Like I said earlier, that's a stairway to heaven. Call that a stairway to heaven because there's no proof of religion or God or an afterlife or anything like that. It's an idea. It might be there, it might not be, but there's no definite other side, right? Whereas a bridge has two sides. So what a time bridge means is I'm at the bar, I approach the girl, but hey, I gotta go because I've got work in the morning. So we can't really hang out, but give me your number and I'll call you tomorrow because I'm going ice skating on Tuesday. And I want you to go with me. I want to go ice skating with you on Tuesday. So it's like you're asking for her number in order to confirm that she's going to come to the ice skating, for example, or wherever you want to take her. Hey, let me get your number. I got to go right now, but let me get your number and we should grab some coffee this week, maybe Tuesday or Thursday, whenever you're off work. And she says, okay. So she gives you her number, and the reason you're getting her number is so that you can call her. Let's say that was Friday night. Saturday morning, you call her up and you say, hey, this is Ryan from the bar. You gave me your number. We were talking about getting coffee on Thursday. I want to see if you're still available, or did you want to do it Tuesday? And she says, Tuesday, I'm available. Okay, fine. So what you're doing is you're bridging the gap of time from the time that you're talking to her, you're with her, and then you got to leave, but you're definitely getting another side because you're taking her number to confirm to get the coffee on Tuesday or Thursday or go ice skating or whatever. Anyway, you're just creating a bridge, and in between the bridge, you can even you can hit her up on Zoom, you can hit her up on Skype, you can follow her on Instagram, and you guys can do a video chat. A lot of stuff could happen in the meantime of going to the date. And in fact, sometimes you don't even get to the date. Sometimes you get her number and you build the time bridge, and then in the middle, hey, she doesn't have work all of a sudden, or someone canceled a shift, or maybe you did, whatever, and then you go, oh, okay, well, I'm just chilling right now. What are you doing? And she says, I'm just hanging out. And you go, well, why don't you come over and have some drinks and Netflix? So even though you built a time bridge, in the middle, all of a sudden, you even bypass the first date, and you basically go straight for the sex. She comes back to your house and you fuck. So, and that can happen in between in the bridge. So that's another way you can play it. But what I want to get into right here is a lot of guys, like I said, are thinking about it the wrong way. They're thinking about, okay, well, where should I take her on the date? Where should I, what's a good first date? And it's like, dude, it's like, bro, you're missing the whole point. You got to understand when you're going out to these places to game, or you're gaming girls on, online, the whole purpose of starting the interaction, the whole purpose of meeting, of swiping, let's say, right on a girl on Tinder, and then she swipes right on you, and you start texting back and forth, it's not to sit there and chit chat with her. When you're at the bar, it's not to like meet her and talk about life and just have a conversation that goes all over the place, or you're end up having a conversation that leads to nowhere. The whole purpose of starting the interaction is to get the lead, is to get the phone number. Now, the whole purpose of getting the phone number is to basically, if you can't get her right off the bat to go back to your house for sex, if you can't get the pull and you can't get an insta-fuck, if you're meeting her in the bar, you can't get her to come back to the toilet with you to fuck, you can't get her to go behind the dumpster and fuck her, you can't fuck her on the ADA service bar, if you're meeting a girl at the beach and you can't get her into the bathroom, the public bathroom over there to fuck, you have to get her number, and the reason to get her number is so that you can call her back and then basically get her to come to your house for sex. Okay, so you get her number, and then you go, okay, yeah, what are you doing? You should come over and kick it. Let's have some beers, let's smoke some weed, let's chill out, let's watch some Netflix. If she doesn't want to do that, then you have to do the date. Or like you get her to do the bounce and then you go for the sex, like I said. If she's not comfortable going to your house, the reason you do the public date is just to get a little more comfort with her, a little more trust, a little more connection, build a little more commonality so that you can move into the seduction phase. Okay? That's the whole purpose of the date. The date isn't to sit down and have a conversation and like get to know her. It's just to build enough comfort to then get her back to your house for the sex. It's not to sit down and try to get her on a second date or a third date. That's not the purpose of pickup. We're trying to fuck the girl. So we want to approach girls and we want to get them back to the house. If we can't do that, then we want to approach them and get their phone number. We get them on the phone. You can either call them up or you can text them. The purpose of texting them or calling them is to get them back to your house. Give them directions to your house. Hit them up and say, hey, come over to the house, whatever like that, so that you can get the sex. If they're not comfortable with that, if they're like I said, they might object. They might say, I don't know, like we just met. I don't know, like I kind of got work. I am seeing this guy. They're going to give you some kind of objections. Your job is to, I like to think of them as hurdles, and you got to just jump over that hurdle so that you can keep going. Okay, it's just like a football player. He's running with the ball, and this guy's coming to tackle him. You gotta like get away from that guy trying to tackle you, so you can keep getting down the line to the goal line. So she says, I don't know, like I'm not really comfortable with that. Fine, she's not comfortable with going straight to your house. Then that's where you do a public date. Then you say, okay, well we'll just grab some coffee. Okay, well let's just grab a quick drink at this bar so we can get to know each other. Okay, fine. So you get her on the date, but you got to remember the purpose of the date is not to sit around and just talk for hours on end and have conversations that lead to nowhere. The point of the first date is just to build enough comfort to then get her back to the house for the sex. If you can't do that on the first date or the logistics are fucked up, then you have to go to the second date. And then the point of the second date is again to get her to the house. If you still haven't been able to do it on the second date, then it's like I said, you have to do the third date, but by that time, you need to be aware of certain things, like the fact that you've had all this time, you've met the girl, maybe she made excuses, so you end up doing the date. She made excuses again to not come back to your house, so you did a second date, and now you're doing a third date? Like, she's blatantly telling you that she's not into you. if she was into you, she would make it very easy for you to have sex with her. Or she would at least be giving you enough. Now, if you're on the third date and she's rubbing your dick and you guys are making out and she's just like, yeah, I want to have sex, but I want it to be special. I think we should get a hotel room. All right, fine. Like, she just wants it a certain way. Like, but at least she's showing you signs of interest. But if she's not fucking, if you're getting to this point and she's not fucking rubbing your dick, if you haven't like gone down on her, if you're not fucking getting blowjobs by this point, but you just haven't, maybe your second date was like a party and she didn't want to like leave the party because her friends were there, but she's at least like rubbing on your dick and making out with you, then yeah, you can have a quiet date, third dinner, and then go back to your house for sex. That's fine. But like I said, if you're going to take her to fucking Olive Garden and spending like $90 for a fucking Olive Garden meal, and she's giving you like a kiss on the cheek goodnight, and then you set up a second date to take her to another dinner or like a fucking spa or a concert, or you know, you're coming and bringing her chocolates and flowers, and she's like, oh, thank you, and you're having picnics in the park, and she's still just basically giving you a hug and saying that you're a sweet guy and she can't wait to see you again. And then you're taking her on a third date and like to another dinner, and she's still not putting out. Dude, it's a waste of your time, effort, and energy. Just cut her off, put her on the back burner, and go talk to other chicks. Go work some of your other leads. A lot of guys will make the mistake of just blocking her, and that's the fucking stupidest thing you can do, because sometimes these girls just have other things going on in their life. They're talking to fucking 10 other dudes. You're not the first on their list. You know, you never are. There's always guys that are taller, better looking, and make more money than you, and have higher social status than you. You know, okay, that's just how it is. That's just part of the game. You got to charge it to the game. That's just the way that it is. Now, let me give you a quick little story of why you shouldn't block them. A lot of guys will be like, oh yeah, you know, like, this girl, she, you know, finally it was like the third date and I still didn't close it, so I just fucking blocked her. And it's like, dude, you might fuck her next time. Now, let me just give you a little story real quick. There was this chick, and I met her at a club. We started making out, and I was also talking to like fucking dozens of other girls at the same time. And I was off going and fucking other girls, and she's probably with other dudes. And but she was on my Facebook, and like we went out kind of on a day two or whatever. We just went out, had a couple of drinks, we made out more. We probably could have fucked, but the logistics, like I said, were bad because I had fucking work in the morning. She wasn't like hot enough, like a fucking 9 or a 10, where I'm willing to like call out of work. She was like an average chick. But it would have been a good fuck, and it was kind of when I was new to the game, where it's like I would have liked to do it for the experience anyway, even though she was like only like a 6 out of 10. But still, that's another trophy, that's another lay, that's another conquest, that's another notch on the belt or the bedpost, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to fuck her. I was having a good time with her. But I was like, yeah, I got work in the morning. Our houses were on complete other side. It would have been a nightmare to either come to my house or her house, and then she would have had company. The logistics were fucked up. It wasn't going to work, and I would have had to set up another date, but I already had dates with other chicks at the same time who were hotter, of course, so I'm going to go to them first. So, but there's no reason to just kind of block it and let it go. And anyway, so I'm off doing my thing. And we kind of fell out of touch, right? Because I was over here fucking all these other chicks, and she's got her own life and whatever she's doing. Now, here's the funny part. 2 years went by, and we hadn't talked to each other after that first date. 2 whole years had gone by, and for some reason, I forgot why, but one of her posts in Facebook had popped up in my feed, and I commented on it or something like that, and then she commented back, and then I was like, oh, I forgot about this chick. I never fucked her yet. I never closed that out. I never checked her off my list. So I was like, that in that particular week, I didn't really have much going on, so I went into the fucking messenger, And I hit her up and I was like, yeah, long time. How you been? And she's like, oh, I've been good. How you been? I was like, oh, I was seeing this girl, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it didn't kind of work out. And now I'm just kind of like getting back out there. And she's like, oh, yeah, same thing. You know, I was with this guy. And anyway, we start talking. Anyway, at her house, she had a fucking hot tub. And I was like, oh, man, we should, she invited me to go hang out in the hot tub and have some drinks. So I was like, oh, shit, that's so funny. Because it was like, I haven't talked to this chick in like 2 years. And all of a sudden, boom, right off the bat. The connection is still there. The attraction is still there. And obviously, our schedules have kind of freed up. So basically, I came over to her house. We got in the hot tub. We had some drinks. And boom. Close the deal. So there we go. There we get a trophy. Checked her off the list. Hit it that one time. And then after that, I basically just ghosted her because I wasn't really interested. Because like I said, and 2 years later, my game was much tighter. I was fucking much hotter women. So to drop back to a girl who was like a 6 out of 10, not really worth my time. Really, it's not worth my time, effort, and energy when I'm over here fucking with like 7s and 8s and 9s. So why would I drop back? And also, I could tell like, as soon as I fucked this girl, I could tell she started getting attached and she wanted to be like boyfriend, girlfriend. It was like, no, like I'm not, I have all this value now. I'm not going to sacrifice my value and resources for a girl who's like only a 6 out of 10. Sorry, it's not going to work. But anyway, so I just basically checked her off the list. It's all good. But that's the lesson, you know, is don't block them. Just, if it's not working, just go back over here. Focus on other girls that you're talking to and leave that girl on the back burner for a while. And sometimes things will clear up and then you can get in there and get back and hit it real quick. And then get yourself another trophy. All right, so let's move forward here real quick. So you're talking to a lot of different girls. And really my approach, like I said, is basically like a numbers game. And like I said, you want to talk to as many girls and build as many leads as you can here. So let's go ahead and just talk about this sales funnel real quick. Because like I said, it really comes down to just being a numbers game. You're going to talk to loads of different girls, I would suggest. If you're just starting the game, try to talk to like even just a couple girls. If you can go to the mall and talk to fucking 2 or 3 different girls or groups of girls, that's cool for a beginner. But after you've been doing it for a few weeks, you should be talking to at least like 20 to 50 girls each day. Try to play like a 4-hour game. Like for example, if you go to the mall, maybe go to the mall like on, you know, Sunday at like 1 in the afternoon until about 5 in the afternoon. By about that time on Sunday, that's when girls are going to be going home for a Sunday dinner, and probably people are going to be going to bed early because they have work Monday morning. But try to like go to the mall for like 4 hours and talk to between 20 and 50 girls and see how many phone numbers that you can get, that you can throw into here. Ideally, you want to be going out for about 4 hours a day, and you want to go out 5 to like 7 days a week, 5 or 6 days. Maybe give yourself a day off, and it takes about 6 months to really get this down. But if you're talking to like 200 girls each day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, that's literally like thousands of girls each month that you're talking to, trying to get phone numbers, and you're going to throw all the phone numbers into this funnel right here. And like I said, again, you're going to weed out the weak, and you want to find the girls that are the most DTF. Don't worry about finding your dream girl right now. A lot of guys will say, oh, I don't want to just fuck sluts. I want to date 9s and 10s. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If you can't pull a 4 out of 10 fucking fat land whale, then don't be expecting to pull 10 out of 10 Stacy's. Okay, you're not going to fuck hot chicks like that. You're not going to be fucking 9s and 10s if you can't even pull 4s and 5s. It's a lot like the video game Super Mario Brothers. I like to think like you start on world 1-1, and then you go to world 1-2. You know, when you go to world 1-3, you don't just snap and go back straight to world 8-4 and save the princess. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to get your game tight. You got to get the mushroom to become Big Mario. You got to get the fire flower so you can start throwing fireballs and become fucking badass. You got to get the invincibility star so you can just be like killing all these enemies. You got to fight dragons. You got to go through the process, and you get through the whole game. Sure, there's warp zones and stuff, and there's secret tricks and things, but you have to still kind of go through the process in order to get that dream girl, that high quality partner. So you guys that want to get a wife or a girlfriend, you're not just going to learn this stuff in one day and then go out and like meet your wife and the girl that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You need, like the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, they hit it right on the head where the guy's like, dude, you can't be trying to go out and get a girlfriend right off the bat. You need to go smash like 20, 30, 40 different hood rats, sluts, fucking just, you just need to get some pussy first. Like, learn the game. And when you get good at the game, then you'll know exactly what you're doing. And then when that 10 out of 10 dream girl comes by, you'll know exactly what to do. You'll be able to go in and pull. So you guys that fucking want to get relationships, get it out of your mind that it's just going to happen right off the bat. Like, it's something you need to build up to. So, for example, like, go out and talk to a lot of girls, build your leads, get laid by a lot of chicks, and eventually, once you get the skill and you understand all this stuff, then, like I said, when that 10 out of 10 perfect dream girl comes along, you'll know exactly what to do. The pickup line will be smooth. You won't even think about it. Hey, I saw you from over there. I thought you were super cute. I wanted to get to know you. My name's Ryan. Boom. Hey, well, I'm shopping. You're shopping. And you won't have to think about it. It's just going to roll off the back of your tongue. I'm shopping. You're shopping. Let me grab your number, and I'll try to convince you to come out and have a drink next week. Okay, cool. High five. Boom. Everything's going to be fucking smooth. You'll be able to get that girl's number. You'll call her back up. You'll get her on a fucking day 2, or you'll get her back to your house. You guys will have sex, and then you can make her your girlfriend. It's really that easy. It really is. But a lot of you guys are thinking like, oh, I don't want to just fuck sluts. I want to get my dream girl. It's like, dude, you're not just going to wake up one day and poof, like you're got your dream girl. There you go. Like, you got to work up to it. And also, girls are attracted to men who have other women in their life. So if you're just a guy who has no life and no women in it, and all you do is live at your mom's house and play video games in the basement, she's not going to be interested in you anyway. So at least when that girl sees you with other girls, that's going to make her become more attracted to you. So for example, there's this experiment they did where they had basically like a male bird, right? And they put him in a cage with like 5 or 6 other female birds. Now, the female birds don't know the value of this male bird, so they just kind of stayed away from him. But the scientists who were doing this experiment basically took a stuffed female bird and put it next to the male bird. And just by having that pre-selection, having another female next to the male, all the females then saw that, and they can see the value now that this male has. And so they all start flocking to the male because of the pre-selection factor, because they see that another attractive female is choosing this male. So it's the same thing with humans. When a woman sees, let's say for example, I walk into the club by myself, hey, what's up? But if I walk into the club with 2 hot women on my arm, every girl in the club is going to be like, who is that guy? Huh, he must be somebody important. He must be a man of higher value. He must be, if he's got value for those 2 hot women, he must have value for me. So part of this game, if you guys are trying to get your dream girl or dream relationship or find a wife, you still need to go through this process and fuck and date, or at least date. You don't have to fuck them all, but at least date, or at least be seen with lots of other beautiful women in order to make you more attractive, so that when that dream girl sees you, she's going to be more attracted to you. I think we're on beer number 6. I'm going to go get another one right now. Oh, yeah. Damn right, motherfucker. Okay. Why don't we go over... Let's go to this part for a second. Over here. So, I want to talk about approach anxiety real quick. So, let's imagine here we are in the attraction phase. You got to the point where you're at the club and you feel this fear. You see a girl that you like and you want to approach her. You have all this value. You've spent, time doing lifestyle mastery. You've built this life, this interesting life that girls would want to be a part of. You're dressed up. You're ready to approach. You're at a nightclub. There's beautiful women everywhere. You see a girl that you like, and you're like, I'm just scared. Like, I don't know why are you scared? You got to understand that 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, we all lived in these tribes, supposedly. I mean, I wasn't there, but based on history and evolutionary psychology, we lived in tribes of, let's say, 50 people. Basically, we evolved to have this fear of approaching beautiful women. Now, let's imagine you live in a tribe with 50 people. Let's just say, for example, 25 men and 25 women. Of those 25 men, you got the tribal leader. 4 or 5 of them are, let's say, the tribal leader's friends. And the other ones, they're going to have some old guys, right? The 70, 80-year-old older guys. You're going to have, some of them are going to be the kids that are just learning how to hunt, and you're going to have, some of them are going to be babies. They'll all be different ages. And same with the women. You're going to have 25 women. A couple of them are going to be hot women. Some of them are going to be average. Some of them are going to be ugly. Some of them are going to be 50, 60, 70 years old. Some of them are still going to be babies. And so let's say you're a guy in the tribe and you want to attract a hot woman, right? Well, if you approach her and she doesn't like your approach, she could go tell all the other women in the tribe, and they're all going to basically laugh at you, and you're never going to get any of them. Or if she's involved with the tribal leader and you go try to hit on her and she goes and tells him, he's going to tell all his friends to basically get some rocks and some spears and either fucking smash your head or stab you to death. So through evolution, we've developed this fear of approach, because if you approach and you don't get the girl 50,000 years ago, you literally could be dead. They'll kill you. So it's hardwired into us to fear the approach. But you got to understand that it's 2022, baby. And that shit doesn't happen anymore, for the most part. Now, you could approach a girl at a club and she might have a boyfriend who's big, jacked, captain of the football team, and he'll beat your ass. But the chances of that, it's pretty slim. So you have to approach. You have to get over that fear of approaching. It's kind of like a guy who skydives, okay? You jump out of a plane. It is a little scary, but you know the parachute's going to open up. So you just got to jump out of the plane and pull the chute. Okay, so the same thing when you see a hot girl on the other side of the club, you're looking at her like, I want to approach her. I want to ask her out. Man, she's hot. But you're going to feel this fear of the approach. You have to just go in and do it anyway. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Otherwise, what's going to happen, if you do nothing, you're just going to keep building up your anxiety, right? If you do that too much, if you never approach girls, you just look at them and stare from afar. Oh, I'd like to approach her, but I'm scared. I'm nervous. You literally feel it. It's a hardwired response. It's a hardwired physiological response, and you really will feel like your body freezes up in a way where I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think, which is why I tell you these lines, so you don't have to think, oh, what should I say to her? I don't know what to do. No, hey, real quick, super random. I saw you from over there. I thought you were super cute, and I wanted to come. I already told you what to say, so you don't need to think about it. You just need to do it. You just need to start taking those action steps to move toward the girl. Move from point A, where you're at right now, to point B, where your target is, and open the set. Okay? Because if you don't do it, if you do nothing, you're just going to keep building up your anxiety. Okay, and that's not good. You do that so much, you'll end up becoming a fucking recluse and just living in your fucking living room all the time and jerking off to fucking Pornhub. And so that's not going to help. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Let me tell you something. And this is, I'm being real here. I still feel approach anxiety every single time. I'm still going to feel a little bit of like fear of approaching the girl. It's just hardwired into us, but you got to understand that it's not a necessary fear in this world now, because there's so many people. 50,000, 100,000 years ago, there was only like 20,000 or maybe a couple 100,000 people in the entire world. Now there's billions. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. So if this girl says no, there's fucking 10 other girls that I'm going to talk to later in the day. And if you ask any guy who does skydiving, even though they've jumped 100 times, every time they're still going to feel a little bit of fear before they jump out of the plane. But they feel the fear and they do it anyway. You jump out of the plane, you pull the chute, and it's this. You just have to get over that fear. The girl is over here, right? And you're looking at her, you check her out. But if you just stand there, your anxiety is just going to keep going up. And it's not, and then you're going to keep making excuses. You're going to think stupid thoughts like, oh, well, but what if I approach and I trip over my own feet? Or what if I fumble my words? Or what if she doesn't like me? You're going to be creating these negative images in your head that aren't actually based in reality if you would just go in and approach. Yeah, she might say no. Oh well. You move on to the next set. It's basically like a video game. So the thing though with this video game is that you have a whole pocket full of quarters. And you can just push the continue button. Okay, she said no. Well, there's another girl over here. So I can go approach her. If she says no, you put in another quarter and you go approach the next girl. And you just keep approaching girls until you get a yes. That's why we say it's a numbers game. Pickup is like an RPG, a role-playing game, but in real life. You get dressed up, you go out to the club, now it's like a video game. Oh, there's my girl. There's the princess. I got to save the princess. Put in a quarter. Hey, I saw you from over there. I thought you were super cute. I wanted to come meet you. My name's Ryan. I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend. Okay, pleasure to meet you. Next girl. Hey, real quick, super random. Boom, and you just do it again and again and again until you get a yes. And when you get a yes and a phone number, you put that into the funnel. That's really all you have to do. So when you're approaching, you need to use what's called the 3-second rule. So that basically means that you have 3 seconds when you see the girl to approach her and open the set. I also like to use the 1-second rule. It's like the 3-second rule, but it's 2 seconds faster. Okay, so community humor. Anyway, what that basically means is when you see the girl, just stop whatever you're doing. I've told you the pickup line. Hey, real quick, super random. I saw you from... You know the pickup line by now. So as soon as you see the girl, you're looking around the club, you see a hot chick. 1, 2, 3. You go in. You have 3 seconds from the time that you see the girl until you get your feet moving and go talk to her. Just obey the 3-second rule. In fact, do more than that. Worship the 3-second rule. Right? So as soon as you see a girl, you obey the 3-second rule, boom, you just go in and talk to her. You use that copy and paste opener to start the conversation, and then you go to get the phone number. You see what she's doing? You try to go for the poll. If she can't go for the poll, then get the phone number. Then you try to get her back to your house or get her on a date. Get her on the date, get her back to your house. Boom, 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 boom. It's just a simple sequence once you understand it. And instead of having to like play it by ear and make shit up as you go, if you look at the structure of the way that this works, it's very easy to just be able to like once you get it down, you can do this with a new girl every single fucking night. So let me show you real quick again, 3-second rule, because it's really important. So you're standing around, all of a sudden, hot girl comes by, boom, you just go in. Hey, real quick, super random. It's just, and after you do it so many times, it just becomes autopilot. Imagine that you get to that point and you start doing that, you feel the fear, you do it anyway, and you open the set. So after you do that a few times, getting rejected kind of sucks, but you're going to start building your courage and your confidence, okay? So you repeat it. If you see another girl, you feel the fear, you do it anyway, you open the set. Yeah, she says she has a boyfriend. Well, at least you went in. You weren't over here just doing nothing, standing around like a little fucking bitch, like a fucking pussy. You went in, balls out, like a fucking man. She wasn't interested, but you built up your courage, and you do it again. Pretty soon, you start getting into the pattern. You are obeying the 3-second rule, your opener is on point, your words are smooth, your body language is good, your hands aren't in your pockets, you're not making fidgety hand movements, you're like just straight up alpha, like, hey, real quick, hey, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Okay, fine, next set. Hey, real quick, boom, 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 boom. You get good at it, you start hooking sets. Hooking sets is going to get you phone numbers. The more phone numbers you get, the more dates you're going to get. The more dates you get, the more sex you can get. The more sex you can get, the more girls you can have in your rotation and harem, or you can make her your girlfriend. Okay, so the whole point, we want to be on this cycle right here. Boom, boom, boom. Just keep opening sets, keep getting phone numbers, keep throwing them in the funnel, weed out the weak, get rid of the fucking flakes, get rid of the girls that are the wrong numbers, find the ones that are the most DTF, get laid, and if you like the way she sucks your dick, you like the way she fucking rides your cock in bed, put her in the rotation. Make her one of your regulars. Basically, you can have as many as you want. If you want to fucking date 5 girls, 10 girls, 20 girls at once, then put them in the rotation. You fuck Sally on Tuesday night. You like the way she sucks your dick, put her in the rotation. And then the next night you can go out and meet Kim. And damn, you like the way Kim rides your cock, put her in the rotation. Then you can go back and you can go out and meet Jessica on Wednesday night. And damn, Jessica fucking is a really good cook, and she plays violin, and she fucking knows how to ride your dick. Good, put her in the rotation. And then you can go back to seeing Kim again on Thursday night. And then you see Jessica again on Friday night. And then you see Sally on Saturday night. And then you see, Sherry on Sunday night. And then Monday night, you're like, you know what? I want to hang out with my guy friends tonight. We're gonna have poker and eat some sandwiches or something like that. So take a night off, and then Tuesday night you can go back to see Jessica again. So you get like a rotation going. You get your own little harem going. I like to call it the conglomerational girlfriend, and basically that concept is like, one girl can't really, for example, fulfill all your needs. One girl is not going to be like the perfect cook, and also can ride your dick and give the best blowjob, and also is the most interesting to talk to, and so it's kind of like, I like to see multiple different girls. Like maybe Kim can really cook. She can cook, and she likes to suck dick, but she doesn't really do anal. Okay, fine. Kim is like the girl I can see when I want to eat good food and like get a nice blowjob and then go to sleep afterwards. But Jessica, man, she can suck a dick and she loves to take it in the ass, but she can't fucking cook. So I can hang out with Kim when I want some good food and a quick lay, and then I can go see Jessica if I really want a good blowjob and I want to fuck a chick in the ass. And then let's say Julie, she's really adventurous. She likes to go rock climbing, and she likes to fuck in public, and she'll suck my dick in the porta potty, at the rock climbing place. You know what I mean? You can see different if you see a bunch of different girls, they can all give you different aspects, and altogether, I call it the conglomerational girlfriend, because it's like all these different girls are fulfilling little bits of your needs, and overall, all of them will fill all of your needs. It's basically like building your own little harem. So if you notice this little module, I'm going to go into this deeper in a second, versus this module right here, it's just kind of another way to look at it. For example, you assess your target market, you build the type of life that's going to be naturally attractive to beautiful women, you attract that woman that you want, you build comfort with her, you seduce her, and it doesn't work out, or you ghost her at the end, or you could go through a whole relationship, but at the end it becomes just experience, and then you go back to reassess your target market and you start over. So when you really look at the cycle of a relationship, you look at the courtship process from meeting a girl to sex, right? That's the courtship process. It's the same here. From the attraction phase to the comfort phase to the seduction phase. Okay? That's that little piece right there. From meet to sex. Then the relationship is from sex to no sex. So for example, you're having sex with a girl, and if you notice this little loop right here, right? A relationship should be a perfect cycle, in theory, of comfort and seduction. If it doesn't work, you're going to have to go into relationship management in order to fix it, so you can get comfortable with each other again and go back into this little cycle. So what that looks like is, I'm hanging out with the girl, we're having dinner, having some drinks, and then we go home and we have sex. After sex, we get comfortable again, we cuddle, we watch a movie, we order a pizza, smoke a cigarette, and then we go back to work, and then the next day, and then we meet up the next day and we have sex. Okay, and after sex, then we cuddle, and we plan a trip to Disneyland, and we have fun, and we go on vacation, and we have sex at the Disneyland hotel. And then the next day we get back on an airplane and fly back home, and we chit chat, and we go out to lunch, and we have fun, and everything is very comfortable, and building trust together and sharing stories. And then we get home and we have sex. Okay, and then we go out to dinner and we talk. Okay, that is a perfect relationship. Comfort, seduction, comfort, seduction, comfort, seduction, right? Or comfort, sex. Hanging out, sex, hang out, sex, hang out, sex, right? Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. But if something happens in the relationship, like we stop being comfortable, we stop hanging out, and it becomes all sex, 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 basically she's going to look at you like a pervert. Or she's going to be like, I'm just not comfortable in this relationship anymore. All we ever do is meet up and you're just using me for sex, blah, blah, blah. It's going to get weird, right? Boom. And you're going to be in relationship management real quick. But if it's all comfort and you're never fucking the girl, yeah, you're just hanging out, you guys are talking, chit-chatting, right? You never have sex, you just chit-chat more, you go out to have dinner. She wants to have sex, but you're too tired. Oh, you always got to work. But you text her, you're very comfortable with each other. You guys talk about deep stuff, but you never have sex. Well, pretty soon, that's not a relationship. That's just being friends, okay? So you're going to be back in relationship management. You better start having some sex or that relationship's going to be over. Anyway, this little box here, relationship rotation management. Okay, girlfriend, relationship management, spinning plates, circular dating, rotation, harem building, etc. All that stuff really has to do with here. Anything that has to do with fixing the relationship. Anything that has to do with spinning plates means basically the same thing as circular dating or harem building. So just dating multiple people. Okay. How are you gonna, when it comes to rotation and harem building, that's managing all the different girls that you're seeing. If you start using this stuff and you're seeing like 5 or 10 different girls at the same time, you know, how do you juggle that? How do you see Kim, Sally, Jessica, Jenny? Like, how do you see all these different girls? How do you make time for each of them? Do you have threesomes, foursomes, and fivesomes with them? Do you guys have group sex? Is this all separate? Do these girls know about each other? Is it secret? We can go into all this stuff. That's private coaching. I'm not going to go into that whole ordeal because that's another fucking 20 hours right there. But I think all you need to know for right now is that, like, if you don't have a perfect cycle with the girl that you're seeing of basically hanging out, sex, hanging out, sex, hanging out, sex, that it's going to cause problems. And if you don't fix those problems, eventually, boom, you're going to go into what I like to call experience. And experience is going to lead you back to the beginning if the relationship, if it breaks up. Experience is like, you know, building your total score. So you did fuck if you fucked the girl, at least you got a new trophy. So you have built some of your score. Your total score is like how many girls you've totally had sex with, right? You should always be keeping score. A lot of people will disagree with that and say, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all about, like, you know, having fun. It's like, dude, no. Like, if you're trying to get good at this game, you should be keeping score. Okay, like, we know who's the best football, basketball, baseball players because we see their score. We know who's like the best chess player because we can see how many times that they win the game. If I give you, you know, a chessboard and you're just playing chess and you're not actually winning any matches, you're not a great chess player. You have to actually win some games and build some rank in order to become a good chess player. So just like in pickup, if you're just going out and talking to a bunch of girls but you're never getting laid, then you're not a very good pickup artist. You're a shitty pickup artist, and you need to step up your fucking game. So really, your total score, how many girls that you fucked, is really the best measure of how good you are in this game. If I owned a car dealership and I was looking to hire car salesmen, and some guy was like, oh, yeah, I love sales. And the first thing I'm going to ask him, like, well, how many cars have you sold? Do you have experience? Do you think I'm going to hire him if he's like, oh, yeah, I haven't really sold any cars, man, but, you know, I just love selling. I love sales. I'd be like, dude, look, what the fuck? Versus a guy who comes in to my car dealership and he says, yeah, I've been the top salesman. I sold over, you know, 6,000 cars at this. Oh, okay. Like, we have a unit to measure how good you are. A unit to measure your skill, right? Experience also has to do with like dealing with breakups, rejection, emotional pain, reassessing your situation, revising your goals and or strategies, starting from scratch, etc. Okay. So basically what that means is, like, experiences after you've gone through the process. Maybe you fucked the girl, the relationship didn't work out, you tried to go through relationship management, maybe you got back on the cycle, you went back there again, maybe it worked, you got back on the cycle, you go back there again, and finally it just didn't work. It goes to experience. Okay, fine. You learned a lot from the experience of the relationship. You learned a lot of the experience of meeting the girl, going out to a coffee, getting her back to your house for the sex, and then you ghosted her. Fine, you get a trophy. Anyway, so you go through the process, and then at the end you're going to go back to the beginning. You're going to want to reassess your situation, reassess, is this really the type of girl that you want? Maybe you really had a fetish for like a goth chick, and finally you fucked a goth chick, and then you're like, I don't really fucking like to fuck goth chicks. I kind of want to fuck a chick who's not so goth, right? So you reassess your target market into, you know, your new target. Maybe you tired of fucking goth girls and now you want to fuck I don't know, musician girls. Okay, fine. So you go and you fuck a girl who's like a musician, and once you get to experience, you get to reassess your target market. hey, I did like fucking musician chicks, but just that chick was kind of whack. So let me go out and try to find a better chick who is still a musician, who, whatever. Anyway, so you reassess your target market and you go back through the process. Okay. So this last box over here, conception, reproduction, CR, right, has to do with pregnancy, family planning, procreation, understanding the purpose of life, next steps in the game, passing on information to the next generation, etc. So if we go down here, the purpose of life, survival and reproduction. Survival and reproduction, okay? So what this means, for example, is we survive and we have to reproduce before the end of our allotted life. And in life, we really only get about 28,251 days in order to survive and reproduce. Otherwise, if you don't get this part of your life handled, if you don't pass on your genes, then nature will unapologetically weed your genes out of existence. And in terms of evolution, then your history. So you have to pass on your genes before you die. And that requires mating with a female. And that's what the purpose really of all of this is. This is picking up women is it's not just a game. This is a matter of life and death. This is the real shit right here. Okay, like I'm not just teaching you how to pick up chicks. I'm teaching you how to fucking win the game of life. And what that basically means is you survive, you eat, sleep, and you shit, and you mate. Okay, those are the 4 basic functions of humans. And you want to reproduce with a woman, preferably a hot chick. What you need really is a good-looking living vessel that's going to take your genes into the next generation. And so you survive, right? You eat, sleep, and shit. You work, you work your job, you get a house, you attract a mate, you reproduce. Let's say you have a son, for example, and your son is going to grow up, survive, he's going to, eat, sleep, shit, get a job, and hopefully he learns the game, he learns how to attract beautiful women, he attracts a beautiful woman, he reproduces, and he has let's say your grandson now. Going to survive, reproduce, your great-grandson is born, and so on and so forth, and that continues the cycle of your genetic immortality that just keeps going. So if you're the guy who finally, after hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution, if you're finding yourself at this point where you can't find a woman and you can't reproduce, then it's kind of showing that you're like the weak link. It's like you can't get to this box. After every single one of your ancestors was able to attract a mate and reproduce, and now here you are trying to get dating advice, figuring out how do you pick up chicks because you can't get fucking laid, and you can't mate, and you can't breed. It's pretty fucked up. And so when you look at this whole method overall, you're selecting the type of girl that you want, you're building the lifestyle that's going to attract her, you go out and you approach and you attract her, you build comfort with her, you seduce her, you have sex with her, you get to this point of conception, reproduction, you get her pregnant. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to have a baby. She could have a miscarriage, anything can happen. But let's say just because you conceive a baby doesn't mean that she's actually going to reproduce. So that's why there's kind of a slash right here, the dash slash. So let's imagine you do conceive a baby and you do reproduce, and that means that, let's say this is your son or your daughter, for example. Let's just say you have a son. Well, he's now gonna grow up. You're gonna have to take him to school. You're gonna have to raise him, feed him, clothe him, and eventually teach him this game so that he too can assess his target market eventually when he gets older, and build a lifestyle that's worthy of attracting beautiful women. He's going to want to go out and attract beautiful women, build comfort, seduce, and get a girl pregnant. And so that, boom, the girl gets pregnant, they end up having, let's say, your grandson, and now your son is going to be teaching your grandson the game, and so on and so forth. There's your great-grandson, your great-great... boom, 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 and that's it. That's the cycle of life right there. And if you don't get this fucking part of your life handled, learning the game, learning how to attract women, learning how all this stuff works, then boom, at one point the chain is going to break and your cycle of genetic immortality, it will cease to exist. And you know, guys that don't handle their game, they don't learn this stuff, then it's over for them. So you have to learn this stuff. You don't really have a choice. This is it. This is the secrets to the universe right here. This is the secrets to the universe. This is the secrets to life. This is the most important things that you could ever learn in this life, is how to attract women, how to attract a mate and procreate. And now you don't have to do that. It's not necessarily that you do that. Not everybody has genes that are worthy of being passed on. And in some cases, some people's genes shouldn't be passed on. They just don't make the cut. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't learn the game and still be able to enjoy life and get laid by hot chicks. It's fine. You don't have to go out and like fucking make 100 babies with 100 different chicks if you don't want to. If you want to, you could just basically fuck chicks with a condom and then go ghost. And that's fine too. And just whatever you want, whatever's going to make you happy. But I think it's important to understand all this stuff so that you can like get a clearer picture on how the game works. Now let's go back into lifestyle management a little more in depth, just to give you guys a couple more tips on this stuff. I'll just move this right here real quick. So let's move back to this page. And I wrote a whole book on this called 10 Steps to Success. And that book really teaches you a lot of tricks and tips and cognitive tools to help you with your lifestyle management, go into things like meditation and workout, diet, exercise routines, and how to make more money and things like that. And that book can definitely help you out. But I just want to go over a couple of things right now. In lifestyle mastery, basically you want to build like a fun and interesting life. You want to do interesting things. You want to like do things like, let's say, rock climbing. Okay, you can go out rock climbing, skydiving. You can go build a social circle. You can learn how to play an instrument. In fact, you don't even have to go get lessons anymore. You can just go on YouTube and get them for free. You don't have to actually go to a live teacher anymore. And all these things that you're doing, you want to get like high quality pics of these things to be able to show them off to girls on your social media. So things like building your social media, going scuba diving, you know, if you can get someone to take pictures if they have an underwater camera or anything like that. But you want to be able to live this life. You want to be able to do all these interesting things, and you want to get photographic evidence of it and get it onto your social media so that girls can see it and go, wow, that guy lives a fun and interesting lifestyle that I might want to be a part of. You can do stuff like playing sports, basketball, baseball, football. It doesn't matter. Find something that you're passionate about: skateboarding, rollerblading, gymnastics, whatever. Find something that you think is interesting and go do that, and then get pictures of it and put it on your social media so that girls can see the type of lifestyle that you lead and the value that you bring. You can do stuff like throwing house parties. You can get a dartboard. You can get a beer pong table, pool table. You could become a DJ and DJ at your own party, so that when girls come to your house, not only do they see your house set up in certain ways, and they see that you have friends that are hanging out and drinking, but they also see you DJing at your own party. I've done that, and it's been very rewarding and beneficial to me, and helping me to pick up lots of chicks. Throwing house parties and then DJing at my own house party. If you want, you could write a book create some kind of body of work for yourself. You could start a YouTube channel. You could work on building connections with people. You could go out and meet owners of nightclubs so that you can get on the guest list and you have kind of value that you can offer the girl. And the girl's, oh, I love that nightclub. And you go, oh, I know the owner. I can get us on the guest list. That's instant value. That's instant attraction right there. You could do things like learn martial arts. You could go on a cruise. You could become a world traveler. You could go to all these vacation spots, get pictures there, post on your social media. Hey, I'm in Ibiza this weekend. We're here for a big party. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm over here in Italy this week, and you know, I'm eating real Italian pizza. Anyway, like, you take pictures like that and make little Instagram stories and put it out on your social media, and girls will see that and go, wow, this guy's living an interesting life. Like, if I was his girlfriend, maybe I could be with him in Italy or, you know, Ibiza or whatever this week. Okay, but the basic thing is, you don't want to just be that guy who lives in his mom's basement and plays video games all day. Because, I mean, unless you're 6'4" and look like a male model, it's not going to work for you. If you're just a normal looking dude and you live in your mom's house and you live in a basement and you sit around and you're playing fucking Halo or Minecraft all day, girls are just not going to be attracted to that. It's just not interesting to them. It's like, it'd be like, well, what does this guy have to value? What kind of value does this guy have to offer? All he does is play video games, and he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a career. He doesn't have any passions, interests. He doesn't have any followers on social media. He doesn't know how to dress. He doesn't know how to groom himself. If you're doing all of those things, if you're living like that, then women just aren't going to be attracted to you when they have guys over here who are living interesting lives, who are following their passions, who are interesting, who know how to talk to women, who are confident. Women have other options. In fact, they have endless options. The game gets exponentially harder each year as more technology comes out. Now women have access to 6'4" chads on Tinder. And it makes guys who are in that normie range, it makes the game a lot harder for them. They have to bring a lot more to the table in order to compete with these guys who are tall, good looking, born into rich families and things like that. It makes the game a lot harder. But like I said, if you stick to this plan, if you understand how all this stuff works, if you pay attention to what I'm teaching you, if you get coaching with me so we can learn, I can teach you the advanced stuff. Obviously, this is all surface level right here. Even though it's been a couple of hours, now you might get a general idea of what I do and what I teach. You should probably also understand that this goes a lot deeper. This shit goes like 10 levels deeper, 100 levels deeper, 1,000 levels deeper. And if you get coaching, we can get into all that stuff. We can go direct to your specific situation. We can deal with your specific sticking points. We can narrow this down and figure out exactly where you're at in the game and to help you get the best types of results with beautiful women. And that's what I do. Let's just go back through it one more time. Let's just recap. Let's go over here, right? And let's try to just break it down, all right? So you assess your target market. You want to date hot chicks that are in shape, that are, have pretty faces, they have nice tits, nice ass. I don't know what you like. Blondes, brunettes, redheads. You might like black chicks, Asian chicks, Filipino chicks. You might like bookworms. You might like goth chicks. You might like gangster chicks. You might like, sophisticated girls. You might like posh girl. There's a million different fucking contingencies of what can happen here. But you choose the types of girls you like. You build a lifestyle that's worthy of attracting those types of girls, and then you go out sarging. That means basically hunting for pussy. You go out to talk to some girls, to open some sets. A set is like a person or a group of people. So, for example, one girl is a 1 set, 2 girls is a 2 set, 3 girls is a 3 set, and so on and so forth. Let me show you real quick. So this was kind of like a meme that I made, but it's like PUA challenge, pickup artist challenge. How would you get her number? So I'm at the mall, I'm at a Starbucks, but the lesson that I want to teach you is like, when I see a group of people, I like to imagine basically a red hoop over the group's head, and then the number, like this is a 2 set, so this is 2 girls. It's a 2 set. It's consisting of a target and the obstacle. This is the girl, I want to get her number, and this is the girl who could be a potential cock block, who might stop me from getting her number, or she's just in the way. Like, I want to talk to this girl and get her number, but I have to deal with this obstacle. Okay, so, and then let's look at a 3 set. Here we go right here. Again, here are 3 girls. I see a red hoop over the top. There's 3 girls, so it's a 3 set. We have a target, this hot blonde right here, and then we've got obstacle 1 and obstacle 2. How do I get this girl's number? She's got these 2 friends around her, and there's other people over here that are looking at the situation. I like to think of them as like phantoms, or just fucking like NPCs, non-player characters in the game. My goal is to get this girl's number. I don't give a shit about these 2 girls, but a lot of guys will have to deal with that social pressure, because when you're dealing with a 3 set, for example, or a 2 set, and you go in, you have these 2 other girls, these 2 obstacles that are basically just staring at you, and it's nerve-wracking, right? Because all I really care about is getting this girl's number. I know she's already out with her friends. I'm not gonna like extract her from the group and go fuck her in a toilet. That's gonna be pretty tough. Her friends could be from out of town. They might have just flown in from New York or something, and she's spending the night hanging out with them. But I got to get in real quick and get her number so that I can call her up the next day and try to get her to come over to my house for some sex, or I got to get her to go on a public date with me so that I can build a little more comfort and then get her back to the house, right? But I've got these 2 obstacles I have to deal with. And we were talking earlier when I said basically like when I like to approach a single set, like I call them the lone wolf sometimes if it's like a 1 set. But I like to do that. Hey, I thought you were super cute, and I just want to get your number real quick. That's fine. But sometimes when there's a group, what I like to do is something that's a little more indirect. I would say like a direct. Going direct is walking up to the girl and saying, hey, I thought you're cute. I want to get your number real quick. Indirect is more playing under the radar, right? I'm kind of playing coy. And so an opener that I like to do is I will walk up to, let's say there's 3 girls. I'll walk up to them, and I'm going to ask some kind of open-ended question, some kind of opinion opener, I like to call it. And generally one that I like to do is I call it the island opener. And so I'll walk up to the girls, and I'll go, hey, you girls look like the most normal girls over here. I'm a YouTuber, and I'm doing a survey. Anyway, if you guys had your own island, what's the first thing that you would do on it? So by telling them, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I just have a quick question, I'm kind of making a video, it makes it okay for them to start talking. Oh, he's a YouTuber. Oh, okay, like he's just asking us this quick question, this quick hypothetical thing that he's probably making a funny. If they're interested in talking to me, then they'll answer the question. Say maybe obstacle 1 will say, oh, if I had my own island, I would build a gym. Obstacle 2 might say, oh, I would take a nap on the beach. And the target, for example, she might say, oh, I'd fucking take a nap in a hammock, or I'd smoke pot, or something like that. Well, whatever the target says, I'm going to high-five her and reward her for her answer. Let's say she says, oh, I'd get a hammock and I would fucking like have some drinks. I would drink coconut milk and rum, and I would sleep in a hammock. So I'm gonna high five her. Oh, that's hella tight. High five. Boom. I'll give her a high five, and I might even do a little salsa spin. I'll show how to do that in some other videos. I'll put a thumbnail right here. But that basically helps me to break the physical barrier. But the main point is, that when you come in like that and you ask an opinion question to a group of people, it basically makes it so that you're not alienating the obstacles. We're not just coming in to hit on the hot girl. We're coming up like a guy that, like, we're not hitting on anybody. We're just asking a random question, and she just happened to say something funny or interesting that I liked. So I'm not alienating the obstacles. Like, and these girls aren't actually bad looking. Like, this girl could, some obstacles are fucking land whales and they're fucking fat as fuck. Or, you know, this other girl, the other obstacle could be her grandma, or it could be like, it could be a gay dude, or this could be anybody. These obstacles could be fucking 4 out of 10 fat fucking land whales that you have to deal with. And they're gonna get jealous because you're hitting on the hot girl. But this way, you come in under the radar, and it doesn't seem like you're hitting on the girl. This is why I love this game, because it's a way to come in so smooth. Or I like to say, like, you girls look like the most normal girls in here. I gotta ask. I need a female opinion. If you guys, I'm a YouTuber, so I'm doing a little survey. If you guys had your own island, what's the first thing that you would do on it? Like, you owned your own island. So as soon as I say that, then, like I said, the girl's gonna be like, oh, I'd take a nap, I'd collect sticks, whatever she says, it doesn't matter. Target says, oh, I'd sleep in a hammock. Oh, hell yeah, dude, I love hammocks, high five. Boom. Break that physical barrier. I reward her for her answer. I thought it was interesting. The main thing is that it comes off like I'm not trying to hit on her. I didn't come up to her and go, oh, wow, you're really hot, you're really beautiful. I just came up and I said something that engaged the whole group. These two girls didn't really impress me that much. She happened to say the right thing that I liked, and then I basically rewarded her for that. So anyway, when you're there, after you do that, you do the little high five, then basically real quick, I just need to get her number, because I know I'm not going to be able to, the chances of me extracting her from this group right here is going to be pretty rare. But let's say real quick, she says, oh, I give her a high five, and basically I'm going to be like, oh, that was pretty cool. Hey, can I add you guys into this, into my little YouTube survey or whatever? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, let me get your numbers real quick. And the main thing is that you want to get all of their numbers. Don't make it seem, again, like you're just getting the target's number. Get all the girls' number. Let's say her name's Christy. Let's say her name is Kim. And let's say her name is Lisa. So you get Christy, Kim, and Lisa's phone numbers, boom, 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 in your phone. And then you don't have to call back these girls ever. But once you have your target's phone number, once you get her number, you just go back to normal routine. You put her fucking lead into the funnel. You call her up the next day, and you work like a normal lead. And then you either try to get her back to your house, or you get her on a date, right? So when you do that, I already know that she had other plans that night. I'm not trying to extract her from the group. I know she's got plans, but this is a way that I can penetrate into a group, open the set, open the 3 set or the 2 set or the 8 set or whatever it is. I get all the girls' numbers. Mostly important is that I got the target's number. We don't really care about the other obstacles numbers, but we got the target's number. They can go off on their night. I can go off on my night. I might even go fuck another chick or meet some other chicks. But the next morning when I wake up, then I call back that target. Hey, what's up? I met you on the strip last night. I was doing that YouTube survey. Anyway, you seem kind of cool. I'm over here just kind of kicking it. What are you doing tonight? Do you have any plans? Oh, I'm kind of doing this. Oh, okay, well, tomorrow. Do you want to grab a drink tomorrow? Oh, okay, sure. So it seems like she's not ready to go back to the house, but she is ready to maybe have a drink with me tomorrow night, which sets us up for that first date, that day 2. So then we meet up, we have a drink. If the attraction is there, we're building some comfort, then again, we try to get her back to the house for the sex. And if we need a little more comfort, we can always do a second date and then try to get her back for the sex. And that's just really how it works. And the main thing is that you got to work a lot of volume. You got to do this every fucking night. Like I said, like 3 or 4 hours a night, and 5 to 6 days a week for like 6 months until you get this process down. And just make this your whole life. You know, if you want to fuck a lot of chicks, like, this should be your entire life. You should just be basically going out all through the day or whatever. You should be going to the gym, like I said, building your lifestyle, you know, getting fit, making money, pursuing your passions, becoming that interesting guy, building that interesting, fun lifestyle that girls are going to want to be a part of, and then going out to nightclubs for like 4 hours a night, talking to between 50 and 200 girls each night, getting as many numbers as you can. Weed out the weak, find the ones that are the most DTF, get them on a date, and a cheap date, I mean like coffee at a Starbucks or a quick drink at a bar that's close to your house, to get her back to your house for the sex. Get as much sex as you can, okay? And just move this over here. Like I said, open as many sets as you can, hook the sets, get as many phone numbers as you can, get as many dates as you can, get as much sex as you can, and ultimately put them in your rotation. Make them become your regulars. So all of a sudden, now you're dating several different girls at the same time. You'll be living your dream lifestyle. Eventually, maybe you'll choose one of them who you just get along with the most, you have the most chemistry with, you find her the most attractive, you could see yourself with her in an LTR, in a long-term relationship, and eventually maybe doing the monogamy in the I don't really recommend it, but some people want that. Eventually having a baby together, and like I said, talking about understanding the purpose of life, the next steps in the game, passing on information to the next generation. Eventually you reproduce with that attractive female. You have a baby, your son or daughter or whatever. You know, obviously when they're young, it's going to be feeding them, clothing them, getting them to school, providing the best lifestyle for their upbringing. And eventually they're going to want to meet a member of the opposite sex. They're going to want to find a partner. So you're going to want to teach them the exact same stuff that I'm teaching you. Teach them the game. They're going to assess their target, what kind of person they want to be with. They're going to build their lifestyle so that they can attract that type of partner. They're going to go out and meet that type of partner, build comfort, seduction, and again, the cycle of life will just continue. Boom, boom, boom. And that's it, baby. That is the game. That's how it all works. And at that, I think we'll stop the video there. I think that gives you a general idea of how this works. Like I said, we can go into fucking 20 hours in each of these modules to teach you all of this stuff in greater detail. So I would definitely click the link below. I would definitely hit me up on Instagram if you're interested in getting personal coaching. I would definitely recommend to start with a coaching call. Like I said, $50 right now for an hour, where we can talk about any of the sticking points that you have and get you a game plan going. And if you're in Las Vegas, I do live coaching where we actually meet up on the Las Vegas Strip, and depending on how many hours and how much time we have, we'll I actually take guys out to bars, nightclubs, grocery stores, the mall, and you'll be able to go out and approach women. I'll tell you exactly what to say, how to stand when you say it, correct your body language, and help you to get dates, help you to get phone numbers, and we can work on all that stuff. I can teach you all this stuff. So definitely hit me up, definitely get on the coaching call. Check out some of my stuff on Amazon. I got a book called The Ultimate Guide to Picking Up Girls with a Wingman, so that you don't actually have to do this stuff all on your own. If you got a wingman, I got certain strategies that are gonna help you to get girls faster and more efficiently when you've got someone working with you. Check out my book, 10 Steps to Success. It's gonna have so much fucking value to step up this part of your game in lifestyle mastery. I got a book called Unlimited Wealth that will also help you to understand how to create multiple sources of income. Money is gonna definitely help you to buy more of the things that are gonna help you to attract beautiful women. That's all here. I've got a lot of other products and a lot of other videos as well, so definitely check those out. Subscribe to the channel for more. Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave some comments in the box below. Let me know your thoughts. And I hope this helped you. I know this has been quite a long video. What are we, 3-4 hours into this? But I hope you get kind of a general idea of what I teach and what I do. And like I said, again, this is just basically the. I know this video was just the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more you can learn. So, like I said, definitely subscribe and check out some more of my videos. I got a playlist called Ryan Jaunzemis Master Pickup Artist that has like 160, 180 videos that are fucking full of information just like this one. So I would definitely suggest checking that out. At that, guys, keep practicing. Just get out there. You could even take what you learned today and start going and applying that to your life. Like I said, take that pickup line, go out to the mall, start approaching chicks, start getting fucking phone numbers, start building leads, become the best version of yourself that you can. Get my book, Target Market Assessment, so that you can assess the type of girls that you want. And then just get out there and start fucking approaching and start getting dates. Work on your dates, work on your text game, build your lifestyle, and to get fucking laid, guys. You got to do it. So, anyway, I'm out of here. Good luck, and sarge on, boys. Peace.